Hello! Hi, everybody. Welcome to Goth Reading Hour with me, your host, Bailey Myers. Hello! It's great to be here for this deranged purpose. In particular, we are all goths today, of course. I assume you're all wearing your gothist finery. Hello. Ooh. Drink for spooky or scary, you know? What? Or stupid. I think, or you mean, do stupid or scary? Because I think it's going to be more one than the other, if I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm remembering correctly, this book's not so scary so much as it is deeply stupid. And also not a book. Goth Hive, here we are. My Immortal by Tara Gillespie. Now, we are reading this book because last month, August, we did reach our egg fund, or egg ust goal. We have a new egg fund goal, and we'll do something similarly fun if we reach it. That's the September fund. And we kicked it off real good yesterday. But yes, thank you in large part to yuor, but to everyone who contributed last month. This is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm very excited, and I'm a little nervous about how long this is going to take. Wow, there's a lot of... Oh my god. So here's... Okay, I was like, how many pages is this book? This book is trying to kill me already. The page numbers are written in Roman numerals. Oh, good, there's art in the back. Fucking Roman numerals. Okay, so... very on brand, incredibly useful. I'm just gonna Google something really fast. Because if there's one thing I'm not gonna learn to do, it's read Roman numerals for this fucking book. There's 262 pages. Okay, we'll do what we can here. Okay. I do feel like we should play the music real quiet below the reading. I think that'll be good and spooky. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Now, the most important thing is that you look at this cover. Do you see it? This beautiful photograph. Good. I just wanted everyone to really drink that in. I love how the hair is visibly a wig that is not on correctly in the photo. It's really good. We do have an about the author on the back. She looks like any girl I could have gone to high school with. God bless her. My Immortal is the most famous, notoriously bad fan fiction ever written. Based very I'm going to turn this down a little on mine because it's distracting me. Very Halloween. Based very loosely in the Harry Potter universe and featuring the blatant Mary Sue protagonist Ebony, or oftentimes Ennaby, it reads like a detailed list of everything a fanfic author could ever possibly do wrong, only taken to exaggerated, horrifying extremes. My Immortal was originally posted to fanfiction.net sometime in 2006, but was subsequently deleted by the FF.net staff after causing a severe drop in the site's collective IQ. In fact, the fanfic is so unbelievably bad that many refuse to accept that it's real, insisting that the author was only trolling and the story is really a parody. Regardless of the author's intent, My Immortal remains one of the most cringeworthy, unintentionally hilarious, not so bad it's good, pieces of literature the internet has ever produced. Now, if I were to take a guess, this was published by the author, so all of that's very tongue-in-cheek. I think, from what it sounds like, she got better at writing and looked back at what she did as a kid and went, I can make some money off of this. And hey, good for her, honestly. My Immortal, a Harry Potter fanfic, the definitive collection, an annotated edition by Tara Gillespie, aka Gothic Girl 666, aka XXX Midnight Goth XXX, aka XXX Bloody Wrist 666 XXX. Oh, good. There's a table of contents. In case you're wondering, this isn't a crisp Arial. It seems as though it is triple spaced. Now, it is annotated. There are parts that are like highlighted, but it's in the book. It seems very clearly like she's looking back on it. All right. So we are going to read all of her notes because this is her, the author's intent is important here, I would say. Preface. To say that My Immortal has a plot might be something of an overstatement. It's more like a loose collection of bad ideas and misspelled words centered around overly long passages about the author's fashion sense and favorite bands. The story is set in some weird dystopian version of the Harry Potter universe where the struggle between good and evil has been replaced with an eternal struggle between goths and preps. And every main character is either gothic, emo, bisexual, a Satanist, a vampire, or any combination of these. The story follows the protagonist, Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way, a 7th-year student at Hogwarts who wanders around having random sex with HP emo clones, and then describes her outfit for several paragraphs. That's seriously about it. There are many other things that happen in the story, but none of it follows any logical progression, so recounting it here would be a pointless endeavor. The story is written in first person through Ebony's perspective since Gillespie couldn't even bother to pretend that she wasn't writing her own personal self-insertion fantasy Mary Sue bullshit. That's why I assume this is Tara doing this. The plot of My Immortal has an astounding number of problems, the least of these being that normal Muggle bands are allowed to have frequent concerts in an all-wizard village, that the story doesn't attempt to follow any laws of physics, or that multiple passages in the story are repeated verbatim. Here's a short checklist of mistakes fanfiction authors often make when writing. Let's see if My Immortal commits any of them. 1. Spelling/grammar/usage errors. Fun fact, My Immortal actually has fewer correctly spelled words than it has chapters. Yeah, non-consensual sex. 3. Out of character. OOC characters stands for out of character. A few quick examples. Harry is now a bisexual goth vampire with a pentagram scar. Hermione's name is now Bloody Mary Smith, and Hedwig is no longer a pet owl but Voldemort's bisexual ex-lover. 4. Unnecessary/poorly written sex scenes. This just directly quotes the book, so I'm not going to bother reading it. Oh, hey, Storm Knight UK. Doing good. About to read a book. A literature. 5. Overabundant pop culture references. Whereas most fanfic authors work their stupid pop culture references in subtly, Tara takes the opposite approach and actually centers her story around her favorite bands and fashion, occasionally throws in something about the Harry Potter series as a treat. 6. Unnecessary series crossovers. Surprisingly, My Immortal does a fairly good job of avoiding this problem. That is, until Morty McFly shows up with his black Tim machine to save the day. Yes, Marty McMotherfucking Fly is from Back to the Future. Apparently, he's also now a goth, and gave his DeLorean a new black paint job to match the gothic nature of the story. There's also sort of a brief cameo by Tom Bombadil of Lord of the Rings fame, except he's now just one of Voldemort's many alternate identities. And then, illogical problem solving. Okay. But it's really impossible to capture all the insanity of My Immortal through words. You have to read it for yourself, so without further ado, here is the worst fanfiction ever written. My Immortal, Chapter 1. And I will skip anything where I'm like, I just think it'll be in poor taste to read out loud, so just, like, bear with me on that. Okay. Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way, and I have long, ebony black hair, that's how I got my name, with purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back and icy blue eyes like limpid tears, and a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. I'm not related to Gerard Way, but I wish I was, because he's a major fucking hottie. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have pale white skin. I'm also a witch, and I go to the magic school called Hogwarts in England, where I'm in the 7th year. I'm 17. I'm a goth, in case you couldn't tell, and I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all my clothes from there. For example, today I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around it and a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets, and black combat boots. I was wearing black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner, and red eyeshadow. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about. A lot of preps stared at me. I put up my middle finger at them. Everyone drink for middle finger. "Hey, Ebony," shouted a voice. I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. "What's up, Draco?" I asked. "Nothing," he said shyly. But then I heard my friends call me and I had to go away. All right, end of chapter. Is it any good? Please tell me, Fangs. Chapter 2. The next day, I woke up in my bedroom. It was snowing and raining again. I opened the door of my coffin and drank some blood from a bottle I had. My coffin was black ebony, and inside it was hot pink velvet with black lace on the ends. I got out of my coffin and took off my giant MCR t-shirt, which I used for pajamas. Instead, I put on a black leather dress, a pentagram necklace, combat boots, and black fishnets on. I put on 4 pairs of earrings in my pierced ears and put my hair in a kind of a messy bun. Oh yeah, everyone say hi to Noodle. Hi, Noodle, you're so tall. He's very tall up there. You can't see him because he's too tall. My friend Willow woke up and then grinned at me. She flipped her long, waist-length, raven black hair with pink streaks and opened her forest green eyes. She put on her Marilyn Manson t-shirt with a black mini, fishnets, and pointy high-heeled boots. We put on our makeup, black lipstick, white foundation, and black eyeliner. "OMFG, I saw you talking to Draco Malfoy yesterday," she said excitedly. "Yeah, so," I said, blushing. "Do you like Draco?" she asked as we went out of the Slytherin common room and into the Great Hall. "No, I so fucking don't," I shouted. "Yeah, right," she exclaimed. Just then, Draco walked up to me. "Hi," he said. "Hi," I replied flirtily. "Guess what?" he said. "What?" I asked. "Well, Good Charlotte are having a concert in Hogsmeade," he told me. "Oh my fucking god," I screamed. "I love GC. They are my favorite band besides MCR. "Well, do you want to go with me?" he asked. I gasped. End of chapter again. Fun fact, I saw Good Charlotte in concert once, but it was way after they stopped being cool. Okay, that's a fun fact from me to you. Metro station opened for them. It was at the House of Blues in Orlando, Florida. Chapter 3. On the night of the concert, I put on my black lace-up boots with high heels. Underneath them were ripped red fishnets. She has fishnets in every color. It is remarkable. Then I put on a black leather mini dress with all this corset stuff on the back and front. I put on matching fishnet on my arm. I straightened my hair and made it look all spiky. I felt a little depressed then, so I slit one of my wrists. I read a depressing book while I waited for it to stop bleeding, and I listened to some GC. I painted my nails black and put on tons of black eyeliner. Then I put on some black lipstick. I didn't put on foundation because I was pale anyway. Yeah, no, guys, some of this is going to be in bad taste. You have to remember a 16-year-old or possibly 15-year-old wrote it. Probably more like a 14-year-old. Okay. I drank some human blood, so I was ready to go to the concert. I went outside. Draco was waiting there in front of his flying car. He was wearing a simple plain t-shirt. They would play at the show too. Baggy black skater pants, black nail polish, and a little eyeliner. It's very of its time. Yes, exactly, War. "Hi, Draco," I said in a depressed voice. Okay, so really quickly. "Hi, Draco," exclamation point. I said in a depressed voice. How do you read that? "Hi, Ebony," he said back. We walked into his flying black Mercedes-Benz, the license plate said 666, and flew to the place with the concert. On the way, we listened excitedly to Good Charlotte and Marilyn Manson. We both smoked cigarettes and drugs. When we got there, we both hopped out of the car. We went to the mosh pit at the front of the stage and jumped up and down as we listened to Good Charlotte. You come in cold, you're covered in blood. They're all so happy you've arrived. The doctor cuts your cord, hands you to your mom. She sets you free into this life, sang Joel. I don't own the lyrics to that song. Joel is so fucking hot, I said to Draco, pointing to him as he sung, filling the club with his amazing voice. Suddenly, Draco looked sad. What's wrong? I asked as we moshed to the music. Then I caught on. Hey, it's okay. I don't like him better than you, I said. Really? Asked Draco sensitively as he put his arm around me, all protective. Really, I said. Besides, I don't even know Joel, and he's going out with Hillary fucking Duff. I fucking hate that bitch, I said disgustedly, thinking of her ugly blonde face. Hillary Duff, wherever you are, I love you, and I'm sorry this happened to you. Babe, what if we hugged at the mosh pit in Hogsmeade at the Good Charlotte concert? The night went on really well, and I had a great time. So did Draco. After the concert, we drank some beer and asked Benji and Joel for their autographs and photos with them. We got GC concert tees. Draco and I crawled back into the Mercedes-Benz, but Draco didn't go back into Hogwarts. Instead, he drove the car into ... the Forbidden Forest! Dun, dun, dun. Chapter 4. Draco, I shouted. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Draco didn't answer, but he stopped the flying car and he walked out of it. I walked out of it too, curiously. What the fucking hell? I asked angrily. Ebony, he asked. What? I snapped. Draco leaned in extra close and I looked into his gothic red eyes. He was wearing color contacts, which revealed so much depressing sorrow and evilness. And then suddenly I didn't feel mad anymore. And then suddenly, just as I Draco kissed me passionately. Draco kissed me passionately. There we go. Draco climbed on top of me and we started to make out keenly against a tree. He took off my top and I took of his clothes. I even took of my bra. Then he put his thingy into my you-know-what, and we did it for the first time. Great book. Hot, right? I was beginning to get an orgasm. We started to kiss everywhere and my pale body became all warm. And then, what the hell are you doing, motherfuckers? It was Dumbledore! It was Dumbledore. Chapter 5. Dumbledore made and Draco and I follow him. He kept shouting at us angrily. You ludicrous, spelled like the rapper, fools, he shouted. I started to cry tears of blood down my pallid face. Draco comforted me. When we went back to the castle, Dumbledore took us to Professor Snape and Professor McGonagall, who were both looking very angry. They were having sexual intercourse in the Forbidden Forest, he yelled in a furious voice. Why did you do such a thing, you mediocre dunces? Asked Professor McGonagall. Fair. Great criticism from McGonagall. How dare you, demanded Professor Snape, who's apparently also there. And then Draco shrieked, because I love her! That's pretty fast. Everyone was quiet. Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall still looked mad, but Professor Snape, who's a true romantic, said, fine, very well. You may go up to your rooms. Draco and I went upstairs while the teachers glared at us. Are you okay, Ebony? Draco asked me gently. Yeah, I guess. I lied. I went to the girls' dorm and brushed my teeth and my hair and changed into a low-cut black floor-length dress with red lace all around it and black high heels. When I came out, Draco was standing in front of the bathroom and he started to sing I Just Want to Live by Good Charlotte. I was so flattered, even though he wasn't supposed to be there. We hugged and kissed. After that, we said goodnight and he reluctantly went back into his room. Oh, I should have. I forgot to say hi to YouTube. Everyone say hi to YouTube. We are on YouTube for this, so hi YouTube. I just want to make sure I've got my chat open for them so I can see if anyone is there. One sec. Oh, yep, there we go. I'm doing really well today. I'm clicking on all the correct buttons in the right order and everything. You'll be pleased to hear. Okay, well, hi, YouTube. Okay. Oh, YouTube says hi to Twitch. Everyone on Twitch, your greeting has been returned. Okay, fantastic. Hello, everybody. Great. Now. Okay, we went back to our rooms. Okay, we got it. All right, next chapter, chapter 6. We are breezing through this. If only I knew what page number it was. Just kidding, it's page 16. We're not quite at the numbers I don't know yet. Isn't that exciting for us? The next day, I woke up in my coffin. I put on a black mini skirt that was all ripped around the end and a matching top with red skulls all over it and high-heeled boots that were black. I put on 2 pairs of skull earrings and 2 crosses in my ears. I spray painted my hair with purple. In the Great Hall, I ate some Count Chocula cereal with blood instead of milk and a glass of red blood. Suddenly, someone bumped into me. All the blood spilled all over my top. Bastard! I shouted angrily. I regretted saying it when I looked up because I was looking into the pale white face of a gothic boy with spiky black hair with red streaks in it. Oh, Draco's gonna be so sad, you guys. He didn't have glasses anymore. And now he was wearing red contact lenses just like Draco's, and there was no scar on his forehead anymore. Oh, he's hot now. He looked exactly like Joel Madden. He was so sexy that my body went all hot when I saw him, kind of like an erection, only I'm a girl, so I didn't get one, you sicko. Sorry, sometimes I forget how this book is. I just love her so much. She's really committed to her own artistic sensibility, and I think that's really special, and it's rare to find an author willing to not compromise her work. Like, you know, for the people? No, this is for her and her alone. I'm so sorry, he said in a shy voice. That's all right. What's your name? I questioned. My name's Harry Potter, although most people call me Vampire these days, he grumbled. Why? I exclaimed. Because I love the taste of human blood, he giggled. Well, I am a vampire, I confessed. Really? He whimpered. Yeah, I roared. We sat down to talk for a while. Then Draco came up behind me and told me he had a surprise for me, so I went away with him. End of chapter. Draco and I held... Oh, chapter 7 is called Bring Me to Life. All the other chapters did not have titles, for the record. This one, though, is called Bring Me to Life, the number 2. Draco and I held our pale white hands with black nail polish as we went upstairs. I was wearing red Satanist sings on my nails and red nail polish. I waved to Vampire. Dark misery was in his depressed eyes. I guess he was jealous of me that I was going out with Draco. Anyway, I went upstairs excitedly with Draco. We went into his room and locked the door. Then, we started Frenching passively. And sorry. There's something about we started Frenching passively that has maybe broken me inside. I feel real tears coming. I assume she meant passionately. Okay, we started Frenching passively. We each took off each other's clothes enthusiastically. That she got right. He felt me up before I took off my top. Then I took off my black leather bra and he took off his pants. Well, she got it right that time. We went on the bed and started making out naked, and then he put his boy's thingy in mine and we had sex! It's in all caps. I screamed while getting an orgasm when all of a sudden I saw a tattoo I had never seen before on Draco's arm. It was a black heart with an arrow through it. On it, in bloody gothic writing, were the words, Vampire! I was so angry. You bastard, I shouted angrily, jumping out of the bed. No, but you don't understand, Draco pleaded, but I knew too much. No, you fucking idiot, I shouted. Then she says, you probably have AIDS anyway, which is crazy, girl. Girl, that's nuts. I put on my clothes all huffily and then stomped out. Draco ran out even though he was naked. He had a really big you-know-what, but I was too mad to care. I stomped out and did so until I was in Vampire's classroom where he was having a lesson with Professor Snape and some other people. Vampire Potter, you motherfucker, I yelled. Chapter 8. Everyone in class stared at me, and then Draco came into the room, even though he was naked, and started begging me to take him back. Ebony, it's not what you think, Draco screamed sadly. My friend Bloody Mary Smith smiled at me understatedly. She flipped her long, waist-length, gothic black hair and opened her crimson eyes like blood that she was wearing contact lenses on. I do like the clarification that everyone who has red eyes is wearing color contact lenses. I think that's very funny. The rest of this is real. They're all really vampires and other stuff, and bisexuals. But the contact lenses are fake. She had pale white skin that she was wearing white makeup on. Hermione was kidnapped when she was born. Her real parents are vampires, and one of them is a witch, but Voldemort killed her mother and her father committed suicide because he was depressed about it. She still has nightmares about it, and she is very haunted and depressed. It also turns out her real last name is Smith and not Granger. Since she has converted to Satanism, she is in Slytherin now, not Gryffindor. Obviously. What is it that you desire, you ridiculous dimwit? Snape demeaned angrily in his cold voice, but I ignored him. Vampire, I can't believe you cheated on me with Draco, I shouted at him. What? I think she might have gotten the pronouns mixed up there. Draco cheated on her, of course. Right? Am I mistaken about that? This is very complex. Being a teenager is so difficult, you guys. Everyone gasped. I don't know why Ebony was so mad at me. Oh my god, we are... We're just switching perspective here. I don't know why Ebony was so mad at me. I went out with Vampire, I'm bi, and so is Ebony, for a while, but then he broke my heart. He dumped me because he liked Brittany, a stupid preppy fucker. We were just good friends now. He'd gone through horrible problems and now he was gothic. Haha, like I would hang out with a prep. But I'm not going out with Draco anymore, said Vampire. Yeah, fucking right. Fuck off, you bastard, I screamed. We're back to Ebony. I ran out of the room and into the Forbidden Forest where I had lost my virility to Draco, and I started to burst into tears. It's incredible what's happening here. I am literally losing my mind. Yeah, she lost her virility in the Forbidden Forest. Chapter 9. I was so mad and sad. I couldn't believe Draco for cheating on me. I began to cry against the tree where I did it with Draco. Then all of a sudden, a horrible man with red eyes and no nose and everything started flying toward me on a broomstick. He didn't have a nose, basically like Voldemort in the movie, and he was wearing all black, but it was obvious he wasn't gothic. It was Voldemort! No, I shouted in a scared voice, but then Voldemort shouted imperious, and I couldn't run away. Crookshanks, I shouted at him. Voldemort fell off his broom and started to scream. I felt so bad for it, even though I'm a sadist, so I stopped. Crookshanks is the cat. Ebony, he yelled, thou must kill Harry Potter. Why is he talking like that? I thought about Vampire and his sexa eyes, S-E-X-A-H, sexa eyes, and his gothic black hair, and how his face looks just like Joel Madden. I remember that Draco had said I didn't understand, so I thought, what if Draco went out with Vampire before I went out with him, and then they broke up? No, Voldemort, I shouted back. Voldemort gave me a gun. No, please, I begged. I mean, this... Thou must, he yelled. If thou does not, then I shall kill thy beloved Draco. Why is he talking like this, girl? How did you know? I asked in a surprised way. Voldemort got a dude, you're so arsler look on his face. I have telekinesis, he answered cruelly. And if he thought a slur at me and then told me he had telekinesis, that is pretty cruel, you're right. And if you doth not kill Vampire, then thou know what will happen to Draco, he shouted. Then he flew away angrily on his broomstick. I was so scared and mad, I didn't know what to do. Suddenly, Draco came into the woods. Draco, I said. Hi. Hi, he said back, but his face was all sad. He was wearing white foundation and messy eyeliner, kind of like a pentagram between Joel Madden and Gerard Way. Are you okay? I asked. No, he answered. I'm sorry I got all mad at you, but I thought you cheated on me, I expelled. That's okay, he said, all depressed, and then we went back to Hogwarts together, making out. CJ, you just gifted a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. This is a very good stream for that. Chapter 10. I was really scared about Voldemort all day. I was even upset, went to rehearsals with my gothic metal band, Bloody Gothic Rose 666. I am the lead singer of it, and I play guitar. People say that we sound like a cross between GC, Slipknot, and MCR. Candy Warp, you just gifted a tier 2 sub. Jesus, thank you so much. I'm just gonna hit a button.
You go, girl.
There we go. So her band sounds like a cross between GC, Slipknot, and MCR. The other people in the band are Bloody Mary, Vampire, Draco, Ron, although we call him Diablo now. He has black hair now with blue streaks in it. Miss Wonder, thank you for the 169 bits. Your 169 bits are the best. We've now got a hype training coming while the band practice is going on, which is very rude, but I'll forgive you. I just don't know if Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Raven, Way will. For Lord Sailor, thank you for the $5 tip right into the egg fund. It goes. Thank you. Ah, boy. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep reading while the hype train is happening. I appreciate all of you so much. Oh my god. Okay.
Swimwear.
Okay. We call him Diablo now. Ron, we call him Diablo now. He has black hair now with blue streaks in it. And Hagrid. Hagrid's in the band too. Only today Draco and Vampire were depressed, so they weren't coming and we wrote songs instead. I knew Draco was probably slitting his wrists. He wouldn't die because he was a vampire too. And the only way you can kill a vampire is with a CROSS. There's no way I'm writing that out. Or a steak, STEAK. She didn't spell that, but just so you know. Thank you for the bits, everybody, so much. And Vampire is probably watching a depressing movie like The Corpse Bride. I get depressed when I watch that movie too, but not for the reasons intended. Yes, she was wearing cross earrings. Thank you for noticing, Overlord Sailor. Don't worry about it. I put on a black leather shirt that showed off my boobs and tiny matching mini skirt that said Simple Plan on the butt. You might think I'm a slut, but I'm really not.
Congratulations on your good deed, Putt-Putt.
Yorf, thank you for the $30 tip for saying these sentences aloud in front of God and everyone. Yeah, this is, I'm already like, what if, this is, I feel like it couldn't get worse, but probably it will, yeah? We were singing a cover of Helena. At the end of the song, I suddenly bust into tears. Ebony, are you okay? Bloody Mary asked in a concerted voice. What the fuck do you think? I asked angrily. And then I said, well, Voldemort came and the fucking bastard told me to fucking kill Harry, but I don't want to kill him because he's really nice, even if he did go out with Draco. But if I don't kill Harry, then Voldemort will fucking kill Draco. And I bust into tears. Suddenly, Draco jumped out from behind a wall. Why didn't you fucking tell me? He shouted. How could you? You fucking poser muggle bitch. Is that out of character? That's in parentheses. She asked that, not me. I know it's not out of character, actually. In fact, this is the most in character Draco's been the whole book. Also, don't let a man talk to you like that. Even if he is sexy and Draco Malfoy. I started to cry and cry. Draco started to cry too, all sensitive. Then he ran out crying. We practiced for 1 more hour.
I'm in there like swimwear.
Oh my god. Thank you, everyone. And TGIF Bro Myalgia, you just subscribed all fresh. Thank you, welcome. Please enjoy your brand new emotes.
You go, girl.
And War, thank you for the $50 tip. You're the tippy top. You're all very nice. We are now $160 into our September Egg Fund goal. And if you'll recall, meeting our Egg Fund goal was how we wound up doing this. So who's to say? Okay. Also, I didn't say this at the top, but a big shout out to my dear friend and former coworker, Joe Starr, for gifting me this book. This is why I have this. He got bought by Wizards of the Coast and sent away, and he said, I left something on your desk for you that I think you're the only one who will appreciate. And he was right, but he was also wrong, because all of you appreciate it too, don't you? Overlord Sailor, you just gifted 3 tier 1 subs. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. Shout out Joe Star. I was gonna say like this, but I'm like, he's not dead. He's at Wizards of the Coast. All right, the next chapter. What chapter is this? I forgot. Chapter 10. Okay. Oh wait, we already did do that. JK. I lost where I was. It's dizzying, this book. It's impossible to know where you are. We practiced for 1 more hour. Then suddenly Dumbledore walked in angrily. His eyes were all fiery, and I knew this time it wasn't because he had a headache. What have you done? He started to cry wisely. Ebony Draco has been found in his room. He committed suicide by slitting his wrists. But she just established that he can't die that way. You have to die from an STEAK or a CROSS. Chapter 11. No! I screamed. I was horrified. Bloody Mary tried. By the way, for the record, Bloody Mary is spelled B apostrophe L-O-O-D-Y. Bloody. Bloody. Lucas Spookus, you're gifting a tier 1 sub as well. This is your first gift sub on the channel. Thank you so much. Christ's sake. This is, okay. So anyway, no, I screamed. I was horrified. Bloody Mary tried to comfort me, but I told her to fuck off, and I ran to my room crying myself. Dumbledore chased after me shouting, but he had to stop when I went to my room because he would look like a perv that way. Anyway, I started crying tears of blood, and then I slit both my wrists. They got all over my clothes, so I took them off and jumped into the bath angrily while I put on a Linkin Park song at full volume. I grabbed a STEAK and almost stuck it in my heart to commit suicide. I was so fucking depressed. I got out of the bathtub and put on a black low-cut dress with lace all over it, sandly. I put on black high heels with pink metal stuff on the ends and 6 pairs of skull earrings. I couldn't fucking believe it. Then I looked out the window and screamed. Snap was spying on me, and he was taking a videotape of me, and Lupin was masticating to it. They were sitting on their broomsticks. Ew, you fucking perv, stop looking at me naked. Are you pedos or what? I screamed, putting on a black towel with a picture of Marilyn Mason on it. Not even gonna touch that, girl. Suddenly, Vampire ran in. Abracadabra, he yelled at Snape and Lupin, pointing his womb. Oh my god. I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times, and they both started screaming and the camera broke. Suddenly, Dumbledore ran in. Ebony, has been revealed that someone has— No! He shouted, looking at Snape and Lupin, and then he waved his wand. And suddenly, Hagrid ran outside on his broom and said, Everyone, we need to talk. What do you know, Hagrid? You're just a little Hogwarts student. What? I may be a Hogwarts student, Hagrid paused angrily, but I am also a Satanist. There's a lot going on here. No time. This cannot be, Snap said in a crisp voice as blood dripped from his hand where Dumbledore's wand had shot him. There must be other factors. You don't have any, I yelled in madly. This book really comes at you like a fucking freight train. Okay. Lupin, L-O-O-P-I-N for the record, held up the camera triumphantly. Okay. All right. Candy Wharf, thank you for pinning the content warning for this. Just for the record, yes, there is a lot of content warning stuff, pretty much anything you can imagine, but it's all done so badly that it's very hard to take seriously. So I'm now going to attempt to read the word that she has written here. Lupin held up the camera triumphantly. Triumphantly. The lens may be ruined, but the tape is still there. I felt faint, more than I normally do, like how it feels when you do not drink enough blood. Why are you doing this? Lupin said angrily while he rubbed his dirty hands on his cloak. Could not possibly tell you. Cloak? And then I heard the words that I had heard before, but not from him. I did not know whether to feel shocked and happy or to bite him and drink his blood because I felt faint. Because, Hagrid said, and he paused in the air dramatically, waving his wand in the air. Then swooped he in, singing to the tune of a gothic version of a song by 50 Cent. It's good she doesn't describe it further because I think it's very obviously what she means when she says that. because you're gothic? Snap asked in a little afraid voice, because he was afraid it meant he was connected with Satan. Because I love her. Hagrid loves me? Chapter 12. I was about to slit my wrists again with a silver knife that Drago had given me in case anything happened to him. He had told me to use it valiantly against an enemy, but I knew we must go together. No, I thought it was Hagrid, but it was Vampire. He started to scream, OMFG, no, my scar hurts. And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. His red whites, you know, the red ones. I stopped. How did you know?
There like swimwear.
Scrunklebunk, thank you for subscribing while this is happening. I stopped. How did you know? I saw it, and my scar turned back into the lightning bolt. No, I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore. He isn't hot anymore. That sucks. I can't believe it. I do, but Diablo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and it turned back into the lightning bolt. Save me! Then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him in bondage. Anyway, I was in the school nurse's office now, recovering from my slit wrists. Snap and Lupin had Hagrid. Okay, all caps, Hahrid. Okay, all right, this is fine. Were there too. They were going to St. Mango's after they recovered because they were pedophiles. You can't have those fucking pervs teaching in a school with a lot of hot girls. Thank you, War. I'm reading it as the author intended. I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time. I'm doing great, though. You know what? Euphemism for wonder, I'll allow it for now. But good catch, Automod. Dumbledore had constipated the Cydio camera they took of me naked. I put up my middle finger at them. Drink for middle finger. Anyway, Hagrid came into my hospital bed holding a bouquet of pink roses. Anna B, I need to tell you something, he said in a very serious voice, giving me the roses. Fuck off, I told him. You know I fucking hate the color pink anyway, and I don't like fucked up preps like you, but her fishnets at the beginning of this were pink. Like, to be clear, a lot of mixed signals here about the color pink. I don't like fucked up preps like you, I snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before being gothic. No, Ennaby, Hagrid says. Those are not roses. What, are they goths too, you poser prep? I asked, because I was angry that he had brought me pink roses. I saved your life, he yelled angrily. No, you didn't, I replied. You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton pee video made for your shower scene and being viewed by Snap and Lupin, who masturbated to it. Whatever, I yelled angrily. He pointed his wand at the pink roses. Those aren't roses. He suddenly looked at them with an evil look in his eye and muttered, well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say. That's not a spell, that's an MCR song, I corrected him wisely. I know, I was just warming up my vocal cords. Then he screamed, Petulus, Marengo, me, Cremically, Remacio, Emo Noto, Okeo. And then the roses turned into a huge black flame floating in the middle of the air, and it was black. Now I knew he wasn't a prep. Okay, I believe you now. WTF is Draco. Hagrid rolled his eyes. He looked into the balls of flame, but I could see nothing. You see, Anabi, Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame. To see what is in the flames, you must find yourself first, okay? All right, so I'm just going to spell this out for you, and I'm going to let you know what it says. The 2 like the number 2, C like the letter C, WHT, space, IZ, N, the letter N, DA, flames, no L, no, I mean no A, sorry, no A, flames, U, the letter U, must, MST, find yourself, URSLF, first, 1, ST, comma, K. I found myself, okay, you mean old man? Hagrid yelled. Hagrid yelled. Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache or else he would have said something back. Hagrid stormed off back into his bed. You are a liar, Professor Dumbledore. Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and put on a black leather mini dress that was all ripped on the ends with lace on it. There was some corset stuff on the front. Then I put on black fishnets and black high-heeled boots with pictures of Billy Joel Armstrong on them. I put my hair all out around me, so I looked like Samara from The Ring. If you don't know who she is, you're a prep, so fuck off. And I put on blood red lipstick, black eyeliner, and black lip gloss. You look kawaii, girl, Bloody Mary said sadly. Sorry, I need like a second between you look kawaii, girl, and she said sadly. Oh my god. The author was having the roughest 6th grade of her life when she wrote this. Okay. Thanks, you do too, I said sadly too, but I was still upset. I slit both of my wrists, feeling totally depressed, and I sucked all the blood. I cried again in my bathroom and put the shades on so Snap and Lupin couldn't spy on me this time. I went to some classes. Vampire was in the Hair of Magical Magic Creatures. Yep. Hair of Magical Magic Creatures is a cosmetology class for the most magical of creatures, you see? Okay. He looked all depressed because Draco had disappeared, and he had used to be in love with Draco. He was sucking some blood from a Hufflepuff. Hi, he said in a depressed way. Hi back, I said in an equally sad way. We both looked at each other for some time. Harry had beautiful red gothic eyes, so much like Draco's that got their contact lenses from the same supplier. Then, we jumped on each other and started screwing each other. Stop it now, you horny simpletons, shouted Professor McGoggle, who was watching us, and so was everyone else. Okay, like, fair criticism from Professor McGoggle. Vampire, you fucker, I said, slapping him. Stop trying to screw me. You know I love Draco, I shouted, and then I ran away angrily. Just then, he started to scream, OMFG, no! My scar hurts! And then, his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. No! I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diablo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him in bondage. Thomas Vivaldi, I would just hate to get a copyright claim on this, but I wish I could. Right now we're just doing lo-fi Halloween beats. Anyway, chapter 13. Vampire and I ran up the stairs looking for Dumbledore. Name spelled correctly for the first time in the book. Big shout out. We were so scared. Dumbledore, Dumbledore, we both yelled. Dumbledore came there. What is it that you want now, you despicable snobs? He asked angrily. Voldemort has Draco, we shouted at the same time. He laughed in an evil voice. No, don't, we need to save Draco, we begged. No, he said meanly, I don't give a darn what Voldemort does to Draco. Not after how much he misbehaved in school, especially with you, Ebony. Draco had sex in the woods and now he has to be killed by Voldemort. It's the only way. He said while he frowned, looking at me. Besides, I never liked him that much anyway. Then he walked away. Vampire started crying. My Draco, he moaned. It's okay, I tried to tell him, but that didn't stop him. He started to cry tears of blood. Then he had a brainstorm. I had an idea, he exclaimed. What? I asked him. You'll see, he said.
Congratulations on your good
Mean Millions,
deed,
thank you
bud.
for the $40 tip. I feel truly insane right now. Thank you for respecting the text of this reading. You're welcome. Thank you for the tip. You are the tippy top. You'll see, he said. He took out his wand and did a spell. Then, suddenly, we were in Voldemort's lair. We ran in with our wands, just as we heard a voice say, Alakadabra! Whoa! It was... Voldemort! Okay. Chapter 14. All right, great. Warning. Some of this chapter is extremely scray. Viewer discretion advised. So you guys heard it. Very scray chapter, viewer discretion advised. Be warned. We ran to where Voldemort was. It turned out that Voldemort wasn't there. Instead, the fat guy who killed Cedric was. Draco was there crying tears of blood. Snaketail was torturing him. Vampire and I ran in front of Snaketail. You know, Snaketail, that classic Harry Potter character. Rid my sight, you despicable preps, he shouted as we started shooting him with the gun. He then suddenly looked at me and he fell down with a lovey-dovey look in his eyes. Ebony, I love you. Will you have sex with me? He said. In this, he's 16 years old, so he's not a pedophile, okay? That's in parentheses, for the record. Huh? I asked. Enemy, I love you. Will you have sex with me? Asked Snaketail. I started laughing crudely. What the fuck? You torture my boyfriend and then you expect me to fuck you? God, you are so fucked up, you fucking bastard. I said angrily. Then I stabbed him in the heart. Okay, sorry. Then I stabbed him in the heart. Blood poured out of it like a fountain. No! He screamed. He started screaming and running around, then he fell down and died. I burst into tears. Sadly. Snaketail, what art thou doing? Called Voldemort. Voldemort speaking like he's from the Renaissance or whatever is a very funny choice. That dude is from the 1950s. Max. Snaketail, what art thou doing? Called Voldemort. Then he started coming. We could hear his high heels clacking to us. So we got on our broomsticks and we flew to Hogwarts. We went to my room. Vampire went away. There I started crying. What's wrong, honey? Asked Draco, taking off his clothes so we could screw. He had a sex pack, get it? Because he's sexy. And a really huge you-know-what and everything. It's so unfair, I yielded. Why can't I just be ugly or plain like all the other girls in preps here except for Bloody Mary because she's not ugly or anything? Why would you want to be ugly? I don't like the preps anyway. They're such fucking sluts, answered Draco. Yeah, but everyone's in love with me. Like Snape and Lupin took a video of me naked. Hagrid says he's in love with me. Vampire likes me, and now even Snaketail's in love with me. I just want to be with you, okay, Draco? Why couldn't Satan have made me less beautiful? I shouted angrily. I'm good at too many things. Why can't I just be normal? It's a fucking curse, I shouted, and then I ran away. End of chapter. Okay. Chapter 15. That's very dramatic. She has a really difficult life, you guys. It's really hard for her. Satan made her just too beautiful and too good at too many things. And now everyone's in love with her. You bastards. That was the scary chapter. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the scary chapter. Yep. Ebony, Ebony, shouted Draco sadly. No, please come back. But I was too mad. Whatever, now you can go and have sex with Vampire, I shouted. I stormed into my room and closed my black door with my blood-red key. It had a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. The key or the door? Doesn't matter. Both. He looked so sexy in a way that reminded me of Draco and Vampire. I started to cry and weep. I took a razor and started to slit my wrists. I drank the blood, all depressed. Then I looked at my black GC watch and noticed it was time to go to biology class. There's nothing more goth than merch. Everyone knows this. I put on a short, ripped black gothic dress that said anarchy on the front in blood red letters, and it was all ripped, and a spiky belt. Under that, I put on ripped black fishnets and boots that said Joel all over them with blood red letters. I put my ebony black hair out. Anyway, I went downstairs feeling all sad and depressed as usual. I did some advanced biology work. They have biology classes at biology classes at Harvard. Yeah, she goes to Harvard. That's where this takes place, in case you were wondering. Anyway, they've got biology classes at Hogwarts, and that's the biggest revelation of this book. I was turning a bloody pentagram into a black guitar. Suddenly, the guitar turned into Draco. Enemy, I love you, he shouted sadly. I don't care what those fucker preps and posers think. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Before I met you, I used to want to commit suicide all the time. Now I just want to fucking be with you. I fucking love you. Then he started to sing the Chronicles of Life and Death. We considered it our song now because we fell in love when Joel was singing it. Right in front of the entire class. His singing voice was so amazing and gothic and sexy, like a cross between Gerard, Joel, Chester, Pierre, and Marilyn Manson. OMFG, I said after he was finished. Some fucking preps stared at us, but I just stuck up my middle fingers that were covered in black nail polish and were entwined with Dracos now at them. Drink for middle fingers. My soda is empty and I'm going to need to get a new one. Diet Coke, the most gothic of sodas. I love you, I said, and then we started to kiss, just like Hilary Duff. I fucking hate that bitch. And CMM in a Cinderella story. Really don't hate her that much. Then we went away holding hands. Lupin shouted at us, but he stopped because everyone was clapping by how sexy we looked together. Then I saw a poster saying that MCR would have a concert in Hogsmeade right then. We looked at each other all shocked, and then we went together. End of chapter. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I do need to get a beverage because my voice is gonna die if I don't have something to drink at all times. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is crazy. I'm back. I thought before we dove back in to the literature, we'll take a small break to look at a cat. Yes? You done? You don't want to be held anymore? That's okay. Here you go. Here you go. Okay. Grip it and rip it, baby. Middle fingers up for Ebony or Ennaby, depending on the chapter. Noodle is a goth, that's true. Okay. All right. Putting the music back into my ears. Very lo-fi Halloween. Okay. Whew. Alrighty. Chapter 16. We ran happily to Hogsmeade. Then we saw the stage where GC had played. We ran in happily. MCR were there playing Helena. I was so fucking happy. Gerard looked even sexier than he did in the pictures. Even Draco thought so. I could totally see him getting an erection, but it didn't matter because I knew that we were the only true ones for each other. I was wearing a black leather mini dress and black leather platinum boots with red fishnets. Draco was wearing a black baggy MCR t-shirt and black baggy pants. Anyway, we started moshing to Helena. That's a crazy song to mosh to. Okay. We Frenched. We ran up to the front of the band to stage dive. Suddenly, Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the others. We gasped. It wasn't them at all. It was Voldemort and the Death Dealers. Doing a perfect MCR impression, apparently. WTF, Draco, I'm not going to a concert with you, I shouted angrily. Not after what happened to me last time, even if it's MCR, and you know how much I like them. What has happened between these two paragraphs? They were in love a second ago. Well, because he gadgeted uncomfortably. Because guys don't like to talk about you-know-what. Yeah, because I yelled in an angry voice. We won't do that again, Draco promised. This time we're going with an escort. OMFG, WTF, are you giving into the mainstream, I asked? So I guess you're a prep or a Christina or whatever now? Is this a flashback? Impossible to follow. What happened to Voldemort and the Death Dealers? Is Draco a Christina now? Lots to think about. No, he muttered loudly. Are you becoming a prep or what? I shooted angrily. Ennaby, I'm not. Please come with me. He fell down to his knees and started singing The World is Black by GC to me. I was flattened, because that's not even a single. He had memorized the lyrics just for me. LYRKS, for the record, for lyrics. Okay, then I guess I will have to, I said, and then we Frenched for a while, and I went up to my room. Bloody Mary was standing there. Haji Mimashite, girl, she said happily. She speaks Japanese. So do I. That means how do you do in Japanese? Probably not, but all right. BTW, Willow, that fucking poser got expelled. She failed all her classes and she skipped math. Serves that fucking bitch right, I laughed angrily. Now, there's some backstory here, a couple parentheticals I skipped. Willow, if you remember from the beginning, was the friend that she had, but then that friend vanished and we were hanging out with Hermione, aka Bloody Mary, instead. Now, the thing is, Willow was based on her real life friend, Raven, but now Willow was expelled, she failed all her classes and she skipped math, and then it says in parentheticals, Raven, you fucking suck, fuck you. So somewhere between chapter 1 and chapter 16, there was a real falling out between these girls, and I think that's very sad, but also a critical part of growing up. It serves that fucking bitch right, I laughed angrily. Well, anyway, we were feeling all depressed. We watched some gothic movies like Das Nightmare Before Christmas. I assume that's just the German version. Maybe Willow will die too, I said. Kawaii. Bloody Mary shook her head energetically, lethargically. Oh yeah, I have a confession. After she got expelled, I murdered her, and then Lupin did it with her because he's a necrophiliac. Kawaii, I commented happily. my drink. Okay. All right. We talked to each other in silence for the rest of the movie. Oh, hey, BTW, I'm going to a concert with Draco tonight in Hogsmeade with MCR, I said. I need to wear, like, the hot sit outfit ever. Bloody Mary nodded energetically. OMFG, let's go shopping. In Hot Topic, right? I asked, already getting out my special Hot Topic loyalty card. No, my head snaped up. Now she can spell it. What? My head spun. I couldn't believe it. Bloody Mary, are you a prep? No, she laughed. I found some cool Gothic scores near Hogwarts, that's all. Huh. Who told you about them? Sometimes it is hard to tell what she's trying to say, and I am just trying to interpret as best as I can for you all. Who told you about them, I asked. Sure, it would be Draco or Diablo or Vampire. Don't even say that name to me. Or me. Dumbledore, she said. Let me just call our brooms. OMFG Dumbledore, I asked quietly. Yeah, I saw the map for Hogsmeade on his desk, she told me. Come on, let's go. We were going into a few punk goth stores specially for the concerts in Hogsmeade. The salesperson was OMG hotter than Gerard, except not, because that's impossible. And he gave me a few dresses. We only have these for the real goths. The real goths? Me and Bloody Mary asked. Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many posers there are in this town, man. Yesterday, Lupin and Snap tried to buy a Gothic camera pouch. He shook his head. I didn't even know they had a camera. I'm gonna say this, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. There are some genuinely good lines in this. There are some moments in this story that I find legitimately funny. I didn't even know he had a camera is one of those moments, for sure. OMFG, no, they're gonna spy on me again, I cried, running out of the changing room wearing a long black dress with lots of red tulle coming out and very low cut with a huge slit. Oh my Satan, you have to buy that outfit, the salesperson said. Yeah, it looks totally hot, said Bloody Mary. You know what? I'm gonna give it to you for free because you look really hot in that outfit. Hey, are you gonna be at the concert tonight, he asked. Yeah, I am actually. I looked back at him. Hey, BTW, my name's Eben D. Darkness Dementia Terra Away. What? Terra! Girl forgot! What's yours? Tom Ridd, he said, and ran a hand through his black dyed hair. Tom Riddle did not dye his hair black. He had black hair. If you already have black hair, you don't have to dye it black. Okay, this is where I draw the line of realism here in this story. Maybe I'll see you there tonight. Yeah, I don't think so, because I'm going there with my boyfriend Draco, you sick perv, I yelled angrily, but before he could beg me to go with him, Hagrid flew in on his black broom looking worried. OMFG Ebendy, you need to get back to the castle now! Chapter 17. Tom Riddle gave us some clothes and stuff for free. He said he would help us with makeup if we wanted, because he was really into fashion and stuff. He's bisexual. Hagrid kept shooting at us to come back to Hogwarts. What, Hagrid? I shouted angrily. Fuck off, you fucking bastard! Well, anyway, Willow came. Hagrid went away angrily. Hey, bitch, you look kawaii, she said. Yeah, but not as kawaii as you, I answered sadly, because Willow's really pretty and everything. I guess they made up. She was wearing a short black corset thingy with blood red lace on it and a black blood red mini skirt, leather fishnets, and black pointy boots that showed off how pale she was. She had a really nice body with big boobs and everything. So are you going to the concert with Draco? She asked. Yeah, I said happily. I'm going with Diablo, she answered happily. Well, anyway, Draco and Diablo came in. They were both looking extremely hot and sexy. You could tell they thought we were hot, too. Diablo was wearing a black t-shirt that said 666 on it. He was wearing tons of makeup, just like Marilyn Manson. Draco was wearing black leather pants, a gothic black GC t-shirt, and black Vans he got from the Warp Tower. Bloody Mart was going to... Sorry, I need a second for Bloody Mart. Okay. Bloody Mart was going to the concert with Dracula. Dracula used to be called Navel, but it turned out that he was kidnapped at birth. Oh, Neville. Oh my god. I was like, Navel? Who the fuck is Navel? Neville. But it turned out that he was kidnapped at birth and his real family were vampires. Happens to the best of us, right? They died in a car crash. Navel converted to Satanism and he went goth. He was in Slytherin now. He was wearing a black warped t-shirt, black jeans and shoes, and black hair, WTF, red streaks in it. Oh, yes, yeah. I think she meant to say whiff, but she did write WTF. So, who's to say? We call him Dracula now. Well, anyway, we all went to Draco's Black Mercy Benz, get it, because we're gothic, that his dad Lucian gave him. We did pot, coke, and crack. Draco and I made out. We made fun of those stupid fucking preps. We soon got there. I gasped. Hey, Goose. What you doing? Everyone say hi to Goose. Yeah, no cat apparently. Gerard was the sexiest guy ever. He looked even sexier than he did in pics. He had long raven black hair and piercing blue eyes. He was really skinny and had an amazing ethnic voice. No, he didn't. For the record. What could you possibly mean by that? Okay. We moshed to Helena and some other songs. Suddenly, Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the other members. Okay, we're back where we were. I gasped. It wasn't Gerard at all. It was an ugly, preppy man with no nose and red eyes. Calling Voldemort preppy is genuinely very funny. Everyone ran away but me and Draco. Draco and I came. It was Voldemort and the Death Dealers. You moronic idiots, he shooted angstily. Annabie, I told you to kill vampire. Thou have failed, and now I shall kill thou and Draco. No, please, we begged sadly, but he took out his knife. You know how Voldemort loves to do knife crimes? Suddenly, a gothic old man flew in on his broomstick. He had long black hair and a long black bread. He was wearing a black robe that said Avril Lavigne on the back. He shouted a spell and Voldemort ran away. It was Dumbledore! Yeah, I got tired of using spells. Sometimes you just want to mix it up a little, you know? Have some fun at the My Chemical Romance concert that you're in. So, question. Chapter 18 is the next one. Question. Was Voldemort Gerard from My Chemical Romance the whole time? Like in Wizards of Waverly Place when it's revealed that her uncle was Shakira? Or is it just this once? And he does a really good impression of him. That's my question. Okay. Chapter 18. Hopefully this will clear things up for us. I woke up the next day in my coffin. I walked out of it and put on some black eyeliner, black eyeshadow, blood bed lipstick, and a black, really low-cut leather dress that was all ripped and in stripes so you could see my belly. I was wearing a skull belly ring with black and red diamonds inside it. The night before, Draco and I went back to the Skull. Get it? Skull, because I'm gothic and I like death. Dumbledore chased Voldemort away. We flew there on our brooms. Mine was black, and the broom stuff was blood red, for the record. The broom stuff? You know the broom stuff? The stuff in the broom stuff? Blood red. There was lace all over it. Draco had a black MCR boom. We went back to our rooms and we had You Know What to a Linkin Park song. Well, anyway, I went down to the Great Hall. There, all the walls were painted black, and the tables were black too, but you could see that there was pink pant underneath the black pant. And there were posters of poser bands everywhere, like Ashley Simpson and the Backstreet Boys. I don't feel like the Backstreet Boys are trying to be anything other than what they were, so I wouldn't call them a poser band if I'm going to nitpick here. Ashley Simpson gets what she deserves. WTF, I shouted, going to sit next to Bloody Mary and Willow. Bloody Mary was wearing a black leather mini with a Good Charlotte t-shirt, black fishnets, and black pointy boots. Willow was wearing a long gothic black dress with blood red writing that was all lacy and came up to your thighs, and black boots and fishnets. Vampire Dracula and Draco came. We started to talk about who was sexier, Mikey or Gerard Way or Billy Joe Armstrong. The boys joined in because they were bi. Those guys are so fucking hot, Navel was saying as suddenly a gothic old man with a black beard and everything came. He was the one who had chased away Voldemort yesterday. He had normal tan skin, but he was wearing white foundation, and he had dyed his hair black. Dumbledore? We all gasped. WTF, I shouted angrily. The revelation that Dumbledore has a tan is the wildest part of this book so far. WTF, I shouted angrily. I thought he was just wearing that to scare Voldemort. Hello, everyone, he said happily. As you can see, I gave the room a makeover. What do you think about it? Everyone from the poster table in Gryffindor started to cheer. Well, we Goths just looked at each other, all disgusted, and shook our heads. We couldn't believe what a poser he was. BTW, you can call me Albert, he called as we left to our classes. What a fucking poser, Draco shouted angrily as we went to transformation. We were both holding hands. Vampire looked really jealous. I could see him crying blood in a gothic way, but I didn't say anything. I bet he's having a midlife crisis, Willow shouted. I was so fucking angry. Chapter 19. I'm not okay, I promise. All day, we sat angrily just for the record, I haven't been reading this, but please assume that at the beginning of every chapter, she is demanding that the comments stop flaming her story. So, for the record, she says, stop flaming it, you're a fucking prep and you're jealous at the beginning of every chapter, essentially. All day, we sat angrily thinking about Dumbledore. We were so fucking pissed off. Well, I had one thing to look forward to MCR concert. It had been postponed, so we could all go. Anyway, I went to the common room sadly to cut classes. Draco was being all secretive. I asked what it was, and he got all mad at me and started crying all hot and angsty. Aren't sensitive bi guys so hot? No one fucking understands me, he shouted angrily as his black hair went in his big blue eyes like Billy Joe in Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Borkin Dreams. He was wearing black baggy paints, a black MCR t-shirt, and a black dye. Oh, get it instead of tie, because I'm gothic. That's what she said. I should have read further. That one's on me. I was wearing a black leather low-cut top with chains all over it. Yeah, that's what it says. Chains all over it. A black leather mini, black high-held boots, and a cross belly thing. My hair was all up in a messy, really high bun like Amy Lee in Gong Under. Email me if you want to see the pic. Accuse me? What about me? I growled. But, he grunted. You fucking bastard, I moaned. No, wait, it's not what it fucking looks like, he shouted. What does it look like? But it was too late. I know what I heard. I ran to the bathroom angrily, cring. Draco banged on the door. I whipped and whipped as my bloody eyeliner streamed down my cheeks and made cool tears down my faces like Benji in the video for Girls and Boys. I took out a cigarette and started to smoke pot. Suddenly, Hagrid came in. He had appurated. You gave me a fucking shock, I shouted angrily, dropping my pot. WTF do you think you're doing in the girls' room? Only it wasn't just Hagrid. Someone else was with him too. For a second, I wanted it to be Tom Riddle or maybe Draco, but it was Dumbledore. Hey, I need to ask you a question, he said, pulling out his black wannabe gothic purse. What are you wearing to the concert? You know who MCR are, I gasped. No, I just saw there was a concert that a lot of goths and punks are going to, he said. Anyway, Draco has a surprise for you. Wow, Dumbledore's such a poser, it's crazy. Chapter 20. All day I wondered what the surprise was. Meanwhile, I put on a black leather mini, a black corset with purple lace stuff over it, and black gothic compact boots. MCR were going to do the concert again since Voldemort had taken over the last one. Slit my wrist, so I moshed MCR in my bedroom all night, feeling excited. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door while I was trying on some black clothes and moshing to Fang You for de Venom. I got all mad and turned it off, but sacredly, I hopped inside that it was Draco, so we could do it again. What the fucking hell are you doing? I shouted angrily. It was Lupin. Can I please borrow some condoms? He growled angrily. Yeah, so you can fuck your 6-year-old girlfriend, huh? I shouted sarcastically. Get his ass. Fucker, he said, going away. Well, anyway, I put on some black eyeshadow, black eyeliner, and some black lipstick and white foundation. Then I went. Then I gasped. Dot 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 dot. Snake and Lupin were in the middle of the empty hallway doing it, and Dobby was watching.
You go, girl.
Oh my god, you ludicrous like the rapper, idiot. They both shooted angrily. When they saw me, Dobby ran away crying. They got up though. Normally I would have been turned on. I love seeing guys do it. But both of them were fucking preps. BTW Snake has moved to Gryffindor now. WTF, is that why you wanted condoms? I asked sadistically. Only you wouldn't give them to me, Lumpkin shouted angrily. Lumpkin shouted angrily. Can't even work. Hold on. Sorry, one sec, everybody. Cool. I just need to make sure everyone sees that one. All right, great. Having a really hard time. Anyway, Lumpkin shouted angrily because we wouldn't give him a condom. Well, you should have told me, I replied. You dimwit. Sneak began to shoot angrily, and then I took out my black camera and took a pic of them. You could see that they were naked and everything. Well, excuse me, they both shouted angrily. What was that all about? It was to blackmail you, I snarked. So now, next time you see me doing it with my boyfriend, you can't fucking rat me out, or I'll show this to Dumbledore. So fuck off, you bastards. I started to run. They chased me, but I threw my wound at them, and they tripped over it. Well, okay, so we just threw our wand at them, and we don't have a wand anymore, but it worked to trip them. So it was all part of our plan, I guess. Okay. Well, anyway, I went outside and there was Vampire looking extremely fucking hot. WTF, where's Draco? I asked him. Oh, he's been a fucking bastard. He told me he wouldn't come. Vampire said, shaking his head, you want to come with me to the concert? Then he showed me his flying car. I gasped. It was a black car. He said his dog father, Sirius Black, had given it to him. The license plate on the front said MCR 666 on it. The one on the back said Enemy on it. I gasped. We flew to the concert hall. MCR were there, playing. Vampire and I began to make out, moshing to the music. I gasped, looking at the band. I almost had an orgasm. Gerard was so fucking hot. He began to sing Helena, and it's the only song they sang. His sexy, beautiful voice began to fill the hall. And then I heard some crying. I turned and saw Draco, crying in a corner. Chapter 21. Later, we all went in the skull. Draco was crying into common room. Draco, are you okay? I asked in a gothic voice. No, I'm not, you fucking bitch, he shouted angrily. He started to run out of the place in a suicidal way. I started to cry because I was afraid he would commit suicide. It's okay, Ennaby, said Vampire comfortably. I'll make him feel better. You mean you'll go fuck him, won't you? I shouted angrily. Then I ran to get Draco. Vampire came too. Draco, please come, he began to cry. Tears of blood came down his pale face. I was so turned on because I love sensitive bi guys. If you're a homophone, then fuck off.
You go, girl.
And then we heard some footsteps. Vampire got out his black invincibility cloak. We both got under it. We saw the janitor, Mr. Norris, there. Nope, shouting angrily with a flashlight in his hand. Who's there? He shouted angrily. We saw Filth come. He went under the invisibility cloak and started to meow loudly. Okay. So. So what's happened here is she seems to be mixing up Filch, the janitor, with Mrs. Norris, the cat that the janitor has, but I like to imagine that she didn't. Is anyone there? Yelled Mr. Norris. No, fuck you, you preppy little poser son of a fucking bitch, Vampire said under his breath in a disgusted way. Excuse me, who said that? Yelled Mr. Norris. Then he heard Filch meow. Filth, is there anyone under the cloak? He asked. Filth nodded. And then, Vampire Frenched me. He did it just as Mr. Norris was taking off the cloak. What? He yelled, but it was too late, because now we were running away from him, and then we saw Draco crying and busting into tears, slitting his wrists outside the school. Draco, I cried, are you okay? I guess so, Draco weeped. I guess so, Draco weeped is a very good sentence. Good for her. She wrote a good one there. We went back to our coffins, Frenching each other. Draco and I decided to watch Lake Placid on the gothic red bed together. As I was about to put on in the video, my eyes rolled up and suddenly I had a vision of something that was happening now. There was a knock on the door and Fug and the Mystery of... Oh, fudge. Jesus Christ. Fug and the Mystery of Magic walked into the school. Chapter 22. Oh, just one G, Candy Wharf. Don't be confused. It's just one G. F-U-G. Minister Fug of the Mystery of Magic. All day, everyone talked about was the misery of magic. Well, anyway, I woke up the next day. I was in my coffin, so I opened the door. I was wearing black lacy leather pajamas. Then I gasped. Standing in front of me were Bloody Mary, Vampire, Diabolo, Draco, Dracula, and Willow. I opened my crimson eyes. Willow was wearing a tight black leather top with pictures of bloody roses all over it. Under that, she wore a black poofy skirt with lace on it and black gothic boots that was attached to the top. Vampire was wearing a baggy Simple Plan t-shirt and baggy black pants and Vans. Draco was... See, women have to do so much more. Draco was wearing a black MCR t-shirt and black jeans and a leather jacket. He looked just like Gerard Way and almost as fucking sexy. Vampire looked like Joel Madden. Bloody Mary was wearing a tight black poofy gothic dress that she had ripped so it showed off all her cleavage with a white apron that said bitch and other swear words and MCR lyrics on it, kind of like one dress I had seen Amy Lee wear once. Darkness, who is Jenny, alright, was there too. Jenny's in this, you guys. She was weaving a ripped gothic black dress with ripped stuff all over it and a lace up top thing and black pointy boots. So were Crab and Goyle. It turns out that Darkness, Diabolo, Crab, and Goyle's dad was a vampire. He committed suicide by slitting his wrist with a razor. They all got so depressed that they became gothic and converted to Satanism. Sorry, Stanism. OMFG, I yielded as I jumped up. Why the fuck are you all here? And to be something is really fucked up, Draco said. Okay, but I need to put my fucking clothes on first, I shouted angrily. It's all right, we have to go now, and you look kawaii anyway. You're so fucking beautiful, Draco said in a sexy voice. Oh, all right, I said, smiling, but you have to tell me why you're being all erective. I will, he said. Good, I'm curious to know. Cool. There you go. So, I just put on, I think she meant secretive, but she just forgot the S. Is what was going on there? I don't know. She's a very dense author. The text is so rich. It's gonna take us a couple tries to really understand all the meaning that she intends for us to derive from it, obviously. So I just put on some black eyeliner, black lipstick, and red eyeshadow and white foundation. Then I came. We all went outside the Great Hall and looked in from a window. A fucking prep called Brittany from Gryffindor was standing next to us. She was wearing a pink mini and a Hilary Duff t-shirt, so we put up our middle fingers at her. Everybody drink for middle fingers. Inside the Great Hall, we could see Dumbledore. Cornelia Fudge was there shouting at Dumbledore. Doris Rumbridge was there too. "This cannot be," she shouted angrily. "The school must be closed." "The Bark Lord is planning to kill the students," yelled Cornelia Fudge. "You are not fit to be the principal any longer," yelled Rumbridge. "You are too old and your Alzheimer's is dangerous. You must retry, or Voldemort will kill your students." "Very well," Dumbledore said angrily, "but we cannot do this. We can't close the school. There's only one person who is capable of killing Voldemort, and she is in the school, and her name is... Enemy, Darkness, Dementia, Raven Way. Draco, Crab, Goyle, Darkness, Willow, Vampire, and Bloody Mary looked at each other and gasped. Chapter 23. Note at the top says, "Shut the fuck up, bitches. You're just jealous because I got 10,000 reviews. Thanks to Raven for the help and telling me about the books. Girl, you rock. Let's go shopping together." I'm glad they made up. The door opened and Professor Rumbridge and Cornelia Fudge stomped out angrily. Then Dumbledum and Rumbridge sought us. "Mr. Way, what the beep are you doing?" Rumbridge shouted angrily. Dumbledore blared at her. "Oops, she made a mistake," he corrected her. "She means hi, everybody, come in." Well, we all came in angrily. So did all the other students. I sat between Darkness and Draco and opposite Bloody Mary. Crab and Goyle started to make some morbid jokes. They both looked exactly like Vilvolo. I ate some Count Chocula and drank some blood from a cup. Then I heard someone shooting angrily. I looked behind me. It was Vampire. He and Draco were shooting at each other. "Vampire Draco, WTF?" I asked. "You fucking bastard," yelled Draco at Vampire. "I want to shit next to her." It's very romantic. He wants to shit next to me. "No, I do," shouted. Could have been anyone. "No, she doesn't fucking like you, you son of a bitch," yelled Draco. "No, fuck you, motherfucker. She laves me, not you," shouted Vampire. And then he jumped on Draco. "No, not that way, you perv." Yeah, it's your fault for thinking they were going to have sex. That hasn't been established as something characters do in this. They started to fight and beat up each other. Dumbledore yelled at them, but they didn't stop. All of a sudden, a terrible man with red eyes and no nose flew in on his broomstick. He had no nose and was wearing a gray robe. Did he have no nose, though? That's the real question. All the glass in the window he flew through fell apart. Brittany, that fucking prep, started to cry. Vampire and Draco stopped fighting. I stopped eating. Everyone gasped. The room fell silent. "Voldemort!" Ebony, Darth Vader said evilly in his raspy voice. Yeah, totally. "Thou hast failed your mission. Now I shall kill thou and shall kill Vampire as well. If thou does not kill him before then, I shall kill Draco too." "Please don't make me kill him, please," I begged. "No," he laughed crudely. "Kill him or I shall kill him anyway." Then he flew away cackling. I bust into tears. Draco and Vampire came to contort me. Suddenly my eyes rolled up so they looked all cool and gothic. I had a vision where I saw some lighting flash and then Voldemort coming to kill Draco while Draco slit his wrist in a depressed way. "No!" I screamed, sexily. Suddenly I locked up and stopped having the vision. Ebony, are you all right?" asked Draco in a worried voice. Yeah, I said sadly as I got up. "Everything's all right, Annabee," said Vampire, all sensitive. "No, it's not," I shouted angrily. Tears of blood went down my face. OMFG, what if I'm getting possessed like in The Ring 2? Okay, there's no The Ring 2. It's Rings. Come on. Or is there a Ring 2? Fuck. Was there Rings and The Ring 2? God, they should not have made that movie a series. "It's okay, girl," said Bloody Mary. "Maybe you should ask Professor Sinister about what the visions mean, though." "Okay, bitch," I said sadly, and then we went. Rings was the third one. Oh, that's right, Rings was the third one. I think I just sort of forgot about The Ring 2. And it definitely depends if you're looking at the American version versus the Japanese version, but she's for sure talking about the American. Yeah, we're preps for not knowing this. You're absolutely right. Well, chapter 24, sorry. Well, we had deviation next, so I got to ask Professor Trevorrow about the visions. "Konnichiwa, everybody, come in," said Professor Sinister in Japanese. She smelled at me with her gothic black lipstick. She's the coolest fucking teacher ever. She had long, dead, black hair. with blood red tips and red eyes. Her mom was a vampire. She's also half Japanese, so she speaks it in everything. She and Bloody Mary get along great. She's really young for a teacher. Today, she was wearing a black leather top with red lace and a long gothic black ribbed dress. We went inside the black classroom with pastors of Emily the Strong. I think she means Emily the Strange, but I like the idea of Emily the Strong. It's just a girl boss. I raised my hand. I was wearing some black nail polish with red, it says nail polish, and it has to be that because the P is capitalized. So she's wearing black nail polish with red pentagrams on it. What is it, Ebony? She asked. Hey, I love your nail polish. That one was normal. Where'd you get it? Hot Topic? Yeah, I answered. All the preps who didn't know what HT was gave me weird looks. I gave them the middle finger. Everybody drink for middle finger. Well, I have to talk to you about some things. When do you want to do it? How about now? She asked. Okay, I said. Okay, class, fucking dismissed everyone, Professor Trevelry said, and she let everyone go, except for you, Brittany. She pointed at Brittany and some other reps. Please do exercise 1 on page 3. Okay, I'm having lots of visions, I said in a worried voice. I'm so worried. Is Draco going to die? Well, she gave me a black crystal ball to lock in. I looked at it. What do you see? She asked. I said I see a black gothic skull and a pentagram. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. I looked at it. It was Draco. He was looking really sexy, wearing a black leather facet. I couldn't even possibly tell you what that. A black gothic Linkin Park t-shirt and black Congress shoes. Yeah, probably. Okay, you can go now. Sorry, one sec. I have to prepare for the sentence I'm about to say. Everybody brace yourselves. Hold your breath. Okay, you can go now. See ya, cunt, said Professor Sinister. Bye, bitch, I said, waving. Sorry, that really just took me by surprise. She's the coolest teacher in school. I went to Draco and Vampire was sitting next to him. We both followed Draco together and I was so exhibited. Chapter 25. This is a great book. We've been reading for 2 hours and we're on page LX, whatever that fucking means. I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish the book. I think my voice will be gone forever if I attempt to read this entire thing, but I'm gonna try and get as deep into it as I can. 60. Thank you, Frank Scenario. We are 1 IX away from a funny number. That's true, Matt Pierce. I'm gonna keep trying to read as much as I can. I want to be able to read the whole thing, but it has taken us 2 hours to read not even a third of the book. So we're gonna do our best here. Maybe the next goal would be finishing it. That's true. We can always just like put a bookmark in and be like, if we reach our next egg fun goal, we can read more of it. It's yeah, a Homeric epic. I love that, War. I think that's probably a good way to do this. But I'm gonna keep trying to read for at least another hour because I have to know more about what happens. Okay. I was so excited. I followed Draco wondering if we were going to do it again. We went outside and then we went into Draco's black car. Ebony, what the fuck did Professor Trevelry say? Whispered Draco. Well, she called me a cunt. Whispered Draco, potting his gothic wit hand with black nail polish on mine. She said she would tell me what the visions meant tomorrow, I grumbled in a sexy voice. She said she would tell me what the visions meant tomorrow. He took out, okay, no idea. He took out a heroin cabaret and spiked it and gave it to me to spork. Could be anything. He started to fly the car into a tree. We went to the top of it. Draco put on some MCR. And all the things that you never ever told me, and all the smiles that are ever gonna haunt me, sang Gerard's sexy voice. We started tiling each other's clothes fervently. He took off my black thong and my black leather bar, and I took off his black boxers. Then he put his trobbing you-know-what in my tool sexily. I screamed, having an orgasm. We stated Frenching passively. Suddenly, I fell asleep. I started having a dream. In it, a guy was shooting 2 gothic men with long black hair. No, please don't fucking kill us, they pleaded, but he just kept shooting them. He ran away in a red car. No, oh my fucking god, I shouted in a scared voice. Ebony, what's wrong? Draco asked me as I woke up, opening my icy blue eyes. This is a very hard book to read. For lots of reasons. I started to cry and tears of blood went down my face. I told Draco to call Vampire. He did it with his black Lincoln Park mobile. But the worst thing was who the people who were shot in the dream were. Lucian and Sirius. Okay, chapter 26. A few minutes later, Vampire came to the tree. He was wearing a black leather Jackson, of course, black leather pants, and a good trowlet t-shirt. Hi, Vampire, I said flirtily as I started to sob. Mood. Draco hugged me sexily, trying to comfort me. I started to cry tears of blood and then told him what happened. Oh, fuck it, Vampire shouted angrily. He started to cry sadly. What fucking dick did that? I don't know, I said. Now come on, we have to tell Dumbledore. We ran out of the tree and into the castle. Dumbledore was sitting in his office. Sire, our dads have been shot, Draco said while we whipped some tears from his white face. Ennaby had a vision in a dream. Dumbledore started to cockle. Haha, and how do you expect me to know Ebony's not divisional? I glared at Dumbledore. Look, motherfucker, he said angrily as Dumbledore gasped. You know very well I'm not decisional. Now get some fucking people out there to look for Sirius and Lucian. Pronto! Okay, he said in an intimated voice. Where are they? I thought about it. Then, all of a sudden, Longton. Guys, they're in Longton. We have to save them. Longton, I said. I told him which street. He went and called some people and did some stuff. After a few mistunes, he came back and said people were going out looking for them. After a while, someone called him again. He said that they had been found. Draco, Vampire, and I all left to our rooms together. I went with Draco to wait in the nurse's office, while Vampire went to slit his wrist in his room. We looked at each other's gothic, depressed eyes. Then we kissed. Suddenly, Sirius and Lucian came on in on stretchers, and Professor Sinister was behind them. Chapter 27. Vampires will never hurt you. That's actually the next Twilight book coming out. Everyone in the room started to cry happily. I had saved them. Draco, Lucian, Sirius, Bond, Vampire all came to hug me. Whatever. The nurse started to give them medicine. Come on, Ennaby, said Professor Sinatra. Yes, said Professor Sinatra. She was wearing a gothic black leader dress with a corset top and real vampire blood on it, and fucking black platinum boots. I have to tell you, the fucking perdition. I looked at Lucian, Seraphs, Drake, and Vampire. They nodded. I smiled happily and went into a dark room. I had changed Professor Sinister, took out some black cards. Okay, cool. She started to look into a black crucible ball. She said, Terra! Terra! I see Drac times are near, she said badly. She peered into the balls. You see, you must go back in time. She took out a time toner like Bloody Mary had. When Voldemort was in Hogwarts before he became powerful, he got his hearth broken. He got his hearth broken. Now, do you think he would still become Volxemort if he was in love? I shook my head. You must go back in time and seduce him. It is the only way. If he is still evil, then you must kill him. You can come to my room tomorrow and you can do it. Okay, I said sadly. We did death's touch sin. Sure. I went outside again sadly. What fucking happened? Asked Draco and Vampire. Yeah, what happened? Asked Darkness Willow and Boldy Mary? ? I was about to tell them, but everyone was there. I have the hiccups because of how good this book is. They were celebrating Lucian and Sirius being fond. Everyone was proud of me. But I just wanted to talk to Draco. They were cheesing my name and some reporters were there trying to interview Dumbledore. A banner was put up. Lots of fucking preps were there, obviously, trying to be gothic, wearing the HIM sign on their hands, despite them not having actually heard of him. Even Mr. Norris looked happy. A black and red cake had been brought out. Crab and Goik set up some fireworks in the shape of skulls from Wesley's Wizard Wises. I put on my invisibility cloak with Vampire and Draco, and we sneaked outside together. Chapter 28. We went into a black room. The walls were black with portraits of gothic bands like MCR, GC, and Marlon Mason all over them. A big black coffin was in the middle. Red velvet lined the black box. There were three chairs made of bones with real skulls in them. Only real skulls in the chairs. I was wearing a black corset bar with purple stuff on it, fishnet stockings, and a black leather thong underneath. I sat down one of the chairs dispersedly. So did Draco and Vampire. Are you okay? Vampire asked, potting his alabaster hand on mine. Alabaster. Alabaster. I was like, alabaster? What could she fucking possibly mean? But I got there. He was wearing black nail polish. I was wearing black nail polish with red crosses on them. Yeah, I guess, I said sadly. Draco also put his hand on mine, sexily. I smiled sadly with my black lipstick. The problem is, I have to seduce Volksamort. I'll have to go back in time. Draco started to cry sadly. Vampire hugged him. It's okay, Ebba B, he said finally. But what about me? You're not going to break up or anything, are you? Of course not, I gasped. Really? He said. Sure, I said. We Frenched, sexily. Vampire looked at us, longingly. Someone has highlighted and bookmarked, like dog-eared, this page. Joestar, I assume it was you. Then, I took off Draco's MCR shrift and seductively took off his pants. He was hung like a Stallone. He had replaced... Sorry. Sometimes I need a second. Just, one of the Stallones. He had replaced the vampire tattoo that said Enemy on it. Black roses were around it. I gasped. He looked exactly like Gerard Way. Vampire took a video camera. I had said it was okay before. Consent is very important. I took off my clothes, then we were in for the rid of... I took off my clothes, then we were in for the rid of the letter R, Lif, L-I-F. We started fretching as we climbed into the coffin. He put his Spock in my you-know-what, and passively we did it. I love you, Ebba B, he screamed as we got an orgasm. We watched Vampire filmed everything perfectly. Suddenly, what the fuck are you doing? It was Snope and Professor McGoggle. They're always interrupting us. Yeah, his Stallone-sized Spock, of course. Chapter 29. Oh my Satan, we screamed as we jumped out of the coffin. Snap and Professor McGonagall started to shout at us angrily. Come now, Professor McGonagall yielded. We did guiltily. We left the room to put on our clothes. Snoop garbed the caramel and put it in his pocket. Hey, what the fuck? Vampire shooted angrily. Yeah, Buster, what the fuck are you going to do with that fucking camera? Draco demanded, all protective, looking at me longly with his gothic red eyes. Look, double whore, knows your little secret, and if you do this again, then you'll go to St. Mango's. So give us the camera. Haha, the mystery of magic thinks he's crazy. There's no way they will believe him. Snoop laughed meanly. Yeah, so shut your mouth, you insolent fools, yelled Professor McGoggle. She had us come into a weird room with white stones all over it. There were all these weird tools in it. Draco started to cry, all sexy and sexative. I started to cry tears of blood. Vampire took out a block handkerchief and started to wipe my red eyes. And then he and Snoop both took out guns, using magic. They started to shoot each other angrily. None of the ballots got on each other yet. I took out my wand. Crocio, I shouted. Snap stated to scram as he dropped a gun. But it was too late. Both of them had run out of ballets. I stopped a curse! Professor McGoogle did a spell, so we were all chained up. She took out a box of tools. Then she said, okay, Cerberus, I'm going to go now. She left. Snap started to laugh evilly. Vampire started to cry. It's okay, NOB, said Draco. Evergreen will be all right. Remember the Sidio you took of us, Snake? Snape laughed again, and then he took out some whips! Chapter 30. There's a lot going on here. No! We screamed sadly. Snap started loafing meanly. He took out a camera, anvilly. Then, he came toward Darko. He took some stones out of his pocket. He put the stones around Draco and knit a candle. I assume he meant lit a candle. What the fuck are you doing? I shooted angrily. Snoop laughed meanly. He pulled down his pants. I gasped. There was a dork mark on his you-know-what. Oh no, not a dork mark on his Spock. He waved his wand and a knife came out. He gave the knife to me. Not knife crimes! You must stab Vampire, he said to me. If you don't, then I'll rap Draco. We know what he means, but I'm not gonna correct it. No, you fucking bastard, I yielded. But then Draco looked at me sexily, with his evil gothic red eyes that looked so depressant and sexy. He looked exactly like a pentagram between Kurt Cobain and Gerard. But then I looked at Vampire, and he looked so smexy too, with his gothic black hair. I thought of the time when we screwed, and the time I did it with Draco and Dumbledore came, and the time when Draco almost committed suicide and Vampire was so sportive. Snipe laughed angrily. He started to pray to Voldemort. He started to do an incapacitation dancing around the Stokes whipping Draco and Vampire. Suddenly an idea I had. I closed my eyes and using my I don't know why she wrote like Yoda there for like 3 seconds. Suddenly an idea I had. Yeah, girl. I sent a telepathic message to Draco and Vampire so they would destruct Snape. Dumbledore will get you, Draco shooted. Yeah, just wait until the mystery find out, Vampire yelled. Meanwhile, I took out my wand. You ridiculous donderhead, Snoop yielded. He took off all of Draco's clothes. Crossio, I shitted, pointing my wound. Snoop screamed and started running around the room screaming. Meanwhile, I grabbed my black mobile and sent a text to Sirius. I stopped doing Crucio. You dunderhead, I'm going to kill, shooted Snape, but suddenly Cerberus came in. But apparently that's a different person. Snake put the whip behind his back. Oh, hello, Seth. I was just teaching them something, he lied. But suddenly Lucien and Professor Trelawney came into the room, and they and Sirius unlocked the chains and put them around Snap. Then Professor Trelawney said, come on, Ebony, let's go. End of chapter. Chapter 31. I always knew you were on Voldemort's side, you son of a bitka. Buffy rocks! Yeah. Sirius said to Snape. See, she wants to make it clear that bitka is not a typo. She's referencing Buffy the Vampire Slayer, a show that she, of course, loves. No, I'm not. I was teaching them something, Snap clammed. Oh, fucking yeah. Sorry. Snap clammed is very good to me. Oh, fucking yeah. I took some black Voldemort serum out of my pocket and gave it to Severus. He made Snap drink it. He did, angrily. Then Lucius took out a tape recorder and started playing it while he did curses on Snap. Then Professor Sinister and Lucien made us get out with them while Snap told his secrets. Lucien told Vampire and Draco to the nurse after thanking me 1,000,000 times. Professor Trelawney took me to a dark room. Now I was going to go back in time to seduce Voldemort. Seduce Voldemort. Moving posters of MCR and Nirvana were all over. Hermione, who? Darkness and Willow came too. Bloody Mary, who? Gave me a black bag from Tom Ridd's store. What's in the bag? I asked Professor Trelawney. You will see, she said. I opened the bag. It was a sexy, tight, low smut, black leather gothic dress. It had red corset stuff and there was a silt up the leg. I put it on. My friends helped me put on the black fishnets and black pointy boots Willow had chosen. Willow and Darkness helped me put on black eyeliner and blood red lipstick. You look fucking kawaii, bitch, Bloody Mary said. Thanks, I said. Okay, now you're going to go back in, Tim, said Professor Sinister. You will have to do it in a few sessions. She gave me a black gun. I put it in my strap on my fishnets like in Resident Evil. Then she gave me a black time tuner. After an hour, used a time turner to go back here, Professor Trelawney said. Then she and Bloody Mary put a pensive in front of me. Everyone in front of it. Good luck, everyone shooted. Darkness and Willow gave me Death's Touch Sin. Then I jumped sexily into the pensive. Suddenly, I was in front of the school. In front of me was one of the sexiest goth guys I've ever seen. He was wearing long black hair, kind of like Mikey Way, only black. He had green eyes like Billy Joe Armstrong and pale white skin. He was wearing a black ripped-up suit with Vans. It was Tom Bombadil!
Welcome to my world, food!
Okay. It's Tom Bombadil, obviously. They did warn us Tom Bombadil was in this at the beginning. It's Tom Bombadil. Chapter 32. I said stop flaming. I know his name isn't Tom Bombadil. That was a mistake. If you don't like the story, you can go screw yourself. You suck. Great, thank you. Hi, I said flirtily. I'm Anna B. Wade, a new student. I shook my pale hands with their black nail polish with him. The name's Tom, he said, but you can call me Satan. That's my middle name. Tom Satan Riddle. We shook hands. Well, come on, we have to go upstairs, Satan said. I followed him. Hey, Satan, do you happen to be a fan of Green Day? I asked. Since MCR and Evanescence don't exist yet, it says in parentheses. Oh my fucking god, how did you know? Satan gasped. Actually, I like GC a lot, too. Get it? Because GC did that song, I Just Want to Live, that sounded really 80s. OMG, me too, I replied happily. Guess what, they have a concert in Hogsmeade, Satan whispered. Hogsmeade? I asked. Yeah, that's what they used to call it in these times before it became Hogsmeade in 2000. He told me all secretively. And there's a really cool shop called Hot Topic, I finished, happy again. He frowned confusedly. No, it's called Hot Issue. He smiled secretively again. Then in 1998, they changed it to Hot Topic. He moaned. Oh, now everything was making sense for me. So is Dumbledore your principal? I shouted. Uh-huh. He looked at his black nails. I'm in Slytherin. OMFG, same me too. I shrieked. You go to this skull? He asked. Yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm new. I smelled happily. Suddenly, Dumbledore flew in on his broomstick and started shredding at us angrily. No talking in the halls. He had short blonde hair and was wearing a polo shirt from American Ogle Outfitters. Stupid goths. Satan rolled his eyes. He's so mean to us goths and punks just because we're in Slytherin and we're not preps. I turned around angrily. Actually, I think maybe it's because you're the Bark Lord. WTF? He asked angrily. Oh, nothing, I said sweetly. Then suddenly, the floor opened. OMFG, no, I screamed as I fell down. Everyone looked at me weirdly. Hey, where are you going? Satan asked as I fell. I got out of the hole and it was back in the pensive in Professor Chivalry's classroom. Dumbledore was there. Dumbledore, I think I just met you, I said. Oh, yeah, I remember that, Dumbledore said, trying to be all gothic. Sinister came in. Hey, this is my classroom. Wait, WTF, Enemy? What the hell are you doing? I looked at her. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. WH, how? I screamed, forgetting she was a teacher for a second. She's a goth, so it's okay. Professor Sinister looked sad. I was drinking Voldemort's serum. She started to cry black tears of depression. Dumbledore didn't know about them. Hey, are you crying tears of blood? He asked curiously, touching a tear. Fuck off, we both said, and Dumbledore took his hand away. Professor Sinister started crying again in her chair, sobbing limpid tears. OMFG, Ennaby. I think I'm addicted to Voldemort's serum. She's addicted to telling the truth. That's a crazy thing to get addicted to in the Harry Potter universe. Like, that's crazy. Anyway, chapter 33. Oh my fucking god, I shooted sadly. Should we get you to St. Manga's, bitch? Hell no, she said. Listen, Agaji, I need your help. Next time you go back in time, do you think you could ask Tom Anderson for some help? Tom Anderson. Sure, I said sadly. I went outside the door. Draco was there. He was wearing a big black GC t-shirt which was his Panamas. Yeah, Panamas. It was his Panamas. Hey, sexy, I said. How'd it go, Ennaby? He asked, and his voice was so sexy and low, kind of like Gerard Way when he's talking. Fine, I responded. We started to go back into the dorm. How far did you go with Satan? Draco asked jealously. Not too far, LOL. I borked. Will you have to do it with him? Draco asked angstily. I hope not too far, I shouted angrily. Then I felt bad for shooting at him. I said sorry. We Frenched. What happened to Snipe? I growled. You will see, Draco giggled mistressly. Okay, mysteriously. He opened a door. Snap and Lumpkin were there. Sirius was pokering them by staging them with a black knife. No, please, Lumpkin bagged as Sirius started to suck his blood. I laughed, statistically. I took some photons of him and Snap being torqued. Okay, I know this is mean, but think about it, people. They're pedos. Anyway, sadists are hot. Has anyone seen Shrek Attack 3? LOLs. Has anyone seen Shrek Attack 3? LOLs? We took some of Snipe's blood, then Draco and I went back to our rooms. We sat on my gothic black coffin. My clothes were kind of dirty, so I put on a black leather outfit thingy, kind of like the one Celine has in Underworld. If you haven't heard of it, then fuck you. I put on some black platform high heels. Draco put on Desolation Livers by MCR. Then, we started to take off each other's clothes. I took off his shit and he had a six-pack, LOL. We started to make out like in The Grudge. Yeah, like in the, you know in The Grudge when they make out? They started to make out like that, like in The Grudge. He put his wetness in my you-know-what, sexily. I got an orgy. Hello, Gremlin's Child. Thank you for the follow. I screamed passively as he got an erection. After, I suppose. I love you, Ebery, he whispered sexily, and then we fell asleep. LOL. Just like in The Grudge. Okay, everybody, I'm going to be right back. I have to run to the restroom. I'll be right back. We have made some progress, but we are only on chapter 34 with quite a bit to go. BRB. Don't go anywhere. There's so much book to be read. I'm back. I had to give my boys a treat. They're being very patient. Hello. I hope you're all doing well. I'm gonna do that thing where I put my headphones right behind me. Yeah. This is what the cool gothic girls do when they stream. They put their headphones right behind them. Oh, give Goose a little kiss on your behalf. I shall. The second he shows his little face. I had him in my arms, and then he was like, I simply mustn't, mother. Today is the book's time to shine. But I will get him, and I will smooch him before this stream is out. Don't you worry. I also think that it has changed from Lo-Fi Halloween to Lo-Fi Winter, and that is just not the vibe. It's gotta be goth. Okay. So you know what? Let's go Halloween Lo-Fi Chill. This is an 11-hour long mix. That's very Halloween. Genuine question. How did you discover this? And also, what is this? Well, this is my Immortal. I already knew about it. It is a classic and notably terrible work of fan fiction. I have a bound book of it because it was a gift from a former coworker. But this is not an obscure piece of internet history. If I'm gonna be real with you, this is pretty well known.
Congratulations,
Lucas Spookus, thank you for the $5 tip. Thank you for doing the Park Lord's work. Well, thank you so much for helping us be able to read more of this. Should we reach our September fund goal, because we are not going to be able to finish it today. A gift and a curse. True. Okay. Back to it. Chapter 34. I woke up in the coffin the next day. Draco was gone. I got up and put on a black tight sexy dress that was all ripped at the end. There was red corset stuff going up to front and to back, and it came up to my knees. There was a slit in the dress, like in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Oh. I put on ripped black fishnets and black Stilton bow-aughts. Yep, bow-aughts. Suddenly, ... Sorius cocked on the door. I opened it. Hi, Ebony, he said. Guess what? You have to come to Professor Sinister's office. Gremlin's child? Exactly. I can't believe Preps would flame his book. Okay, I said in a depressed voice. Hi, Goose. Goose, you're owed a kiss. Goose. I'm giving him chin scratchies for now, lulling him into a false sense of security, you see. Professor Sinister is a new character. This is not someone who is in the books. Okay, I said in a depressed voice. I had wanted to fuck Draco, or maybe listen to MCR or Evanescence. You'll never believe she has not once spelled Evanescence correctly. I know this might be shocking to you, but that one kind of beyond her scope, I think. So what the fuck happened to Snipe and Lupin? I asked Surius, flirtily. I fucking tortured them, he answered in a statistic way. They're in Azkaban now, LOL. I laughed evilly. Where are Draco and Vampira? I muttered. They are excused from school today. Sodomize, moaned sexily. No. Right now they are watching The Nightmare Before Christmas. We went into the office. Professor Sinister was there. She was wearing a gothic black dress that was all ripped all over it. Kind of like in that one Amy Lee wears in this pic. And then there's just a URL of the picture, and I'm not going to type it in. She was drinking some Volximort serum. She took out the pensive and the time turner. Anna B, you'll have to do another session now. Also, I need you to get me to cure for being addicted, she said sadly. Good luck, Fangs! And then I jumped into the Pensive again. Suddenly I looked around. I was in the Great Hall, eating Count Torcula. It was morning. I was sitting next to Satan. On a table was a tall, gothic man with long black hair, pale skin, blue eyes, wearing a suit and black Converse shoes. He looked just like Charlin Manson. Could be anybody. I noticed he was drinking a portent. Who's he? I asked. Oh, that's Professor Slutborn. Sorry, that's Professor Slutborn. He's the portents teacher. Ebony? Yeah, I asked. Did you know that Marilyn Mason is playing in Hogsmeade tonight? And they're showing the exercise as the movie before that. Yeah? Well, want to go to the concert and the movie with me? End of chapter. I assume she means Professor Slughorn, but Slutborn is very good too. Chapter 35. It's supposed to be Ghost of You, but there's no H, so it's Ghost of You. Ghost of You. I went into the common room, thinking of Satan. Suddenly I gasped. Draco was there! I grasped. He looked as hot as ever, wearing black leather pants, a black Lonkin Prack t-shirt, and black eyeliner. Draco, what the fuck are you doing? I gasped. Huh? He asked. Then I remembered. It wasn't Draco. It was Lucan. He still had 2 arms. Oh, hi, Lucian. I said. I'm Ebony, the new student, LOL. We shook hands. Yeah, Satan told me about you, Lucian said. He pointed to a group of sexy gothic guys. They were sitting in a corner, cutting. It was Sirius, Vampire's dad, and Snap. All of them were wearing black eyeliner and black Good Charlotte band t-shirts. Listen, I'm in a goth band with those guys, he said. We're playing tonight at the Marilyn Mason show as backup. Oh, really? I asked. Yeah, he said. We're called X Black X Tier X. I play the gutter. Spartacus plays the drums, he said, pointing to him. Snap plays the bass, and James plays the guitar, which is apparently different than the gutter, even though we call him Samaro after Samara in the ring. Hey, bastards, I told them. They gave me a death's touch sign. Suddenly, I gasped again. But don't you have a lead singer? I asked. Lucian looked down sadly. We used to, but she died. She attempted suicide by silting her wrists. Oh my fucking god, that's so fucking sad, I gasped. It's okay, but we do need a new lead singer for tonight, Samaro said. Well, I said, I'm in a band myself. Really? Asked Snap. I couldn't believe it. He used to be gothic. Yeah, we were called Bloody Gothic Rose 666. Do you want to hear me sing? Yeah, said everyone. So the guys took out their guitars. They began to play a song by Gurnday. I walked this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, I sang sexily. I don't know the lyrics to this song. Everyone gasped. Enipby, will you join the band, please? Begged Lucian, Samaro, Sirius, and Snape. Okay, I shrugged. Are you going to play tonight? Yeah, they said. Okay, I said, but I knew that I had to get a new outfit. I walked outside wondering how I could go forward in time. Suddenly someone jumped in front of me. It was Morty McFly. He was wearing a black band t-shirt and black baggy jeans. What the hell are you doing here? I asked. I will help you go forward in time, Enibee, he said seriously. Then he took out a black Tim machine. I went into it, and suddenly I was forward in Tim. Chapter 36. I looked around in a depressed way. Suddenly I saw Professor Sinister, Bloody Mary, Socrates, and Draco, Vampire, and Willow were there too. OMFG. Sorius, I saw you and Samaro and Snip and everyone. I can't believe Snip used to be gothic. Yeah, I know, Sirius said sadly. Oh, hey there, bitch, Professor Chivalry said in an emo voice, drinking some Volxamort serum. Hi, fucker, I said. Listen, Satan asked me to go to a gothic cornet and a movie, so I need a sexy new outfit for the date. Also, I'm playing in a gothic band, so I need an outfit for that too. Oh, my Satan! Get it? Because she's gothic? Gasped Bloody Mary. Want to go to Hot Topic to shop for your outfit? OMFS, let's have a group cutting session, said Professor Chivalry. I can't fucking wait for that. But we need to get some stuff first, said Willow. Yeah, we need some portions for Professor Chivalry, so she won't be addicted to Voldemort's serum anymore. And also, some love potions for Enibee, Darko said, resultantly. Could be anything. Well, we have potions class now, Willow said, so let's go. We went sexily to potions class, but Snap wasn't there. Instead, there was Cornelio Fuck! Hey, where the fuck is Dumbledore? Draco shouted angrily. STFU, shouted Cornelia Fuck. He's in Azkaban now, with Snap and Lupin. He's old and weak, and he has cancer. Now do your work. My friends and I talk. He went to jail for having cancer. That's crazy. One of the crazier concepts in this book, I'd say. We went, oh, yep. Okay. My friends and I talked angrily. Can you believe Snap used to be gothic? Vampire asked, surprisedly. That's it, Cornelio Fuck shouted angrily. I'm getting Professor Bridge. He stomped out angrily. My friends and I began talking again. I began to drink some blood mixed with beer. Suddenly I saw Hagrid in the cupboard. What WTF is he doing? I asked. Then I looked at Draco. He was wearing tons of eyeliner and he looked sexier than ever. Suddenly, Hagrid, what the fuck are you doing? He shouted. I looked around. Hagrid was putting something in my glass of blood. Darko and Vampire started to beat him up, sexily. God, you're such a poser, I shouted at Hagrid. Suddenly I looked at what he was putting into blood. It was amnesia potion. Chapter 37. Okay, everybody, I'm going on vacation on the 1st of July, so I'm either going to end the fic or update it. I'm either going to end the fic or update it in weeks. Okay. Well, I don't think she ends it. And Jay Britholm, thank you for resubscribing. Tier 1, 21 months. Thank you so much for continuing to be a valued member of this community.
You go, girl.
Okay. Darko's point of view. LOL. It's nice that she told us this time, as opposed to last time when she just sort of jumped to it. Vampire Knight chained Hagrid to the floor. Oh my fucking Satan, Annabie said. She was so hot. Maybe I could use amnesia potion to make Satan fall in love with me faster. But you're so sexy and wonderful anyway, Tata. I assume they mean Tara, which I assume they mean Ebony, said Vampire. Why would you need it? To make everything go faster, LOL, said Annabie. But you won't have to do it with him or anything, will you? I asked jealously. OMFG, you guys are so scary, said Brittany, a fucking prep. Shut the fuck up, said Willow. Okay, well, anyway, let's go to Professor Chivalry's room. Draco Ebery and I went to Professor Sinister's room. Professor Sinister wasn't there. Instead, Tom Ridd was. Oh, hi, fuckers, he said. Listen, I got you some cool new clothes. I like that Tom Riddle is just like this like clothing genie who like just shows up like, here you go, new wardrobe, farewell. And we are trying to actively seduce him in the past, but that's not reconciled at any point, obviously. I took out the clothes from the bag. It was a gothic black leather miniskirt that said 666 on the back, black Stilton boots, sharp and cheddary, blood red fishnets, and a black corset. OMFG, fangs, I said, hugging him in a gothic way. I took the clothes in the bag. Okay, Professor Sinister isn't here. What the fuck should we do? Asked Draco. Suddenly, he looked at a sign on the black wall. Oh my fucking Satan, I screamed as I read it. On it said, everyone, Professor Sinister is away. She's too gothic. She is in Azkaban now. Classes shall be taught by Dumbledore, who is back, but he shall not be principal for now. Sincerely, Professor Rumbridge. She's in jail for being too gothic, you guys. Have you ever heard of such a thing? OMFG, I shouted angrily. How could they do that? Suddenly, Dumbledore came. What the hell are you doing in my office? He began to shoot angrily. Suddenly, I saw Morty McFly's black time machine. I jumped seductively into it, leaving Draco and Vampire. Suddenly, I was back in Tim. I looked around. It was Professor Slutborn's office. I sneaked around. Suddenly, I saw the amnesia potion on his desk. It was black with blood red pentagrams on it. It was the shape of a cross. I put it in my pocket. Suddenly, the door opened. It was Professor Slutgorn. OMG, what are you doing, fucker? He shouted angrily. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I shouted angrily. Oh, sorry, I was just looking around because I thought it was class. You said, finally hoping you couldn't see the potion in your pocket. This is now in second person. You said this, hoping that he can't see the potion in your pocket. Choose your own adventure. Okay, you can go now, said Professor Slutborn. You went to the common room after putting on my clothes. Silas, Samaro, and Snap were there, practicing Vampires Will Never Hurt You by MCR. Oh, hi, you guys, I said seductively. Where's Satan? Oh, he's coming, said Sirius. BTW, you can call me Hades now. Suddenly, Satan came. He was wearing a smexy black leather Jackson, black Congress shoes, a Slipknot t-shirt, and a black tie. Okay, I will see you guys at the concert, I said, and then I went with Satan. Chapter 38, if you can believe it. Satan and I walked to his car. It was a black car with pentagrams all over it. On the license plate said 666, just like Draco's car. I went in it seductively. Stan started to drive it. We talked about Satanism, LOLs. He was named after Satan. Cutting, music, and being gothic. Oh my, Satan Gerard is so fucking hot. Voldemort agreed as we smoked some weed. Because bi guys are hot. They are so sensitive. I love them. LOL, I totally decided not to commit suicide when I heard Helena, I said in a flirty voice. It's really a really successful way to flirt is that exact sentence, actually. Hey Satan, do you know the cure for when people are addicted to Volxamort serum? Well, he thought, I think you have to drink vampire blood. Suddenly, Volxamort parked a car behind a black movie theater. Satan and I walked outside. We went into the movie theater where they were showing The Exorcist. In it, a boy and girl were doing it. Suddenly, a serial killer came. LOL, so this girl has never seen The Exorcist. But she's seen The Ring 2, and probably Rings. So who knows what her taste in movies is like. Satan and I laughed at the blood because we're sadists. While Satan was watching the movie, I had an idea. I took Satan's gothic black Nightmare Before Christmas cigar sexily from his pocket and put some amnesia potion in it. I put it back in his black Emily the Strange bag. Satan turned around and started to smoke it. Black clouds with red pentagrams in them started to fly around everywhere. OMG, Satan said, jumping up. I gasped because I was afraid he'd noticed. Ennaby, guess what? I knew that the amnesia had worked. Amnesia potion has not been invented yet, so it will not work, he said. Too bad, because I wanted to use some on you. Cool. I raised my eyes suggestively. And then, he took off my clothes sexily, and we started to make out. I took off his shirt. He had six-pack, just like Gerard Way. We Frenched. Excuse me, but you are going to have to leave, shooted the lady behind us. She was a prep. Fuck you, I said. Suddenly, I attacked her, sucking all her blood. No, she screamed. All the preps in the theater screamed, but everyone else crapped, because Satan and I looked so cute together. I think they meant clapped. I want to believe they crapped, because we were so cute together. Satan and I started to walk outside. ZOMG, how did you do that? Voldemort asked in a turned-on voice. I'm a vampire, I said as we went into the car. Seriously, he gasped. Yeah, seriously, I said, drinking some beer. Satan started to drive the car. I smiled happily. It's too bad we didn't get to see the rest of the movie, don't you think? Yeah, I said, as we kissed passively. Satan parked in a black driveway next to the place where Draco and I watched GC for the first time. We went inside where Marilyn Manson was playing and started to mosh, LOL. Anti-people, now you've gone too far. Jesus Christ superstar, screamed Marlon on the stage. We did the devil fingers. I started to dance really close to Satan. He was so schmecksy. He looked at me all emo with his gothic red eyes, and he looked exactly like Mikey Way. I almost got an orgasm. Suddenly, Marilyn Manson stopped singing. I would like to present X Black X Tier X, he said. I ran on stage. Lucian, Samaro, Snap, and Hades were there. They started to play their instruments. I got on Stag. Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say, I sang. I don't own the lyrics to that song. My voice sounded like a pentagram between Amy Lee and a girl version of Gerard Way. Everyone clapped. Satan got an erection. I'm not okay, I sang finally. Suddenly, Lucian started playing the song wrong by mistake. OMFG, yelled James, what the fuck? Whoops, I'm sorry, said Lucian. You fucking asshole, James shouted angrily. You guys are such preps, Snap said. Come on, it was a mistake. Yeah, it's not his fault, said Sirius. No, he ruined the fucking song, yelled Samaro. You guys stop, I shouted angrily, but it was too late. They all began to fight. Suddenly, Samaro took out his knife. Oh no, knife crimes. Everyone drink for knife crimes. OMFG, no, shouted Lucan, but it was too late. James tried to shoot off his arm, and then I jumped sexily in front of the bullet. No, yelled everyone, but it was too late. Suddenly, everything went black. Chapter 39, I am a trolling genius, LOLs. So in this chapter, she has pretended... Okay, so this is the annotation on this, for the record. I am an extremely immature, pathetic idiot girl. I know. Out of boredom, I cracked this girl's password for fun. It took less than 8 minutes to do it, too. I'll probably get in a shitload of trouble, which I probably deserve because I'm being a troll right now. Meh. And I present to you my crappy part in this story. And take note, I haven't even finished reading this fic yet, but instead skip over to skim chapter 38. Flame, laugh, do whatever you want. Preps. I, the American retail-wearing British vampire Sue, coughed up blood. Satan kneeled down beside me. No, don't die. I gave him a rueful smile. I'm sorry, it's something I had to do, to fulfill my duty as the noble Gothic Mary Sue. Satan sobbed. I love you, Ebony. I love you too. I'll see you in hell, I mumbled, already finding my surroundings fading to black. The thing is, this part of the book has like no typos in it. So is it real? Is it fake? Is this all kayfabe? What's going on? Tara? Bloody Mary Smith suddenly popped into the room for no apparent reason. She frowned when she realized the room was oddly quiet, but at the sight of Ebony's lifeless body, she screamed. Her face became pale with horror. She screamed for the healers, Dumbledore, McGoogle, and every single Gothic person she could think of. Suddenly, a glow started to surround the body of Ebony. Everyone stared in shock. Her body started to lift ever so slowly, and then, to everyone's shock, it started to incinerate. When everyone realized what was happening, they rushed over to try to rescue the body, but it was too late. The Sue became nothing more than a pile of ashes. A loud resounding of everyone bellowing, "No!" filled the room. A flash of white light from the ashes and started to bounce around the room. Everyone cowered in fear and were temporarily blinded. When it was all over, things changed. All the silly goth clothes dropped from everyone's bodies. I will refuse to explain how the hell that happened. And in their place, clothes the characters would normally wear in canon appeared on their bodies. When everyone got over the shock of becoming free of the Gothic power, everybody cheered. Everyone started singing Ding Dong the Sue is dead. Well, that is, until all the Harry Potter characters realized the true implications of becoming more canon-like again. All the characters who were supposed to be dead fell to the floor, their bodies cold and lifeless. Harry and Voldemort started dueling. On the left side of the two, the battle of the light side and the dark side were reaching a climax. And because the replacement author also liked to screw around with canon, Draco and Hermione fled the scene and got married. Meanwhile, down in hell, Ebony shed a single tear because of her current situation. A situation that would live on for all eternity, or at least until the end of fanfiction time. She lost it all, but she knew she had to remain strong. Nothing would ever break her down. She looked down over her pale body and frowned. Where are my emo clothes? She asked herself in confusion. And then it occurred to her. For her shirt, she was wearing a bright pink polo with a little seagull on the right or left, I can't remember, side. Below that, she was wearing a denim miniskirt with the destroyed look on it. Paired underneath that skirt were leggings with a little moose on the bottom. And then Ebony realized on her shoulder she was carrying a pretty bag with an eagle on it that said, "Live your life," written all over the bag. Ebony suppressed the urge to scream. Here she was, decked out in clothes prepped to the extreme, wearing stuff from Abercrombie & Fitch, American Eagle, and Hollister. Panicked, Ebony hastily tried to take off the Hollister polo, but underneath it there was another Hollister polo underneath. Ebony frowned and looked down under her shirt. All she saw was a bra underneath. Dare I point out it's from the Aerie line, available at American Eagle? Ebony tried to remove the shirt again, but to her frustration, there was yet another polo to replace it. This is illogical and does not make any sense, Ebony bellowed out the air. She failed to see the irony in her statement, how hypocritical her words were, seeing as she was practically calling the kettle black right here. Ebony slit her wrists and mumbled to herself, "Oh my god." End crapfic. Oh yeah, if you want to see the original content this chick had planned for this chapter, I accessed it through the document manager thingy, which I copied and pasted so you can read it here. And then we're back to the book. Polos all the way down. My god. Okay. Thanks for everyone who have reviewed. Except you preps who flamed. Fuck you. MCR rules. 666. I woke up in Denorse's office in a special Gothic coffin. Hagrid was in bed opposite me in a coma because Vampire and Draco had bet him up. Mr. Norris was cleaning the room. "Oh, my Satan, what happened?" I screamed. Suddenly, Voldemort came. He looked less mean than usual. "Get the fuck out, you fucking bastard!" I yielded. "Thou hath not killed Vampire yet," he said angrily. Suddenly, he started to cry tears of blood, all selective. "Voldemort, OMFG, what's wrong?" I asked. Suddenly, Lucian, Professor Sinister, and Sirius came. Bloody Mary and Vampire were with them. Everyone was holding black boxes. Voldemort disappeared. "OMFG, Annabelle, you're alive!" screamed Vampire. I hugged him and Bloody Mary. "What the fuck happened?" I asked them. "Oh my Satan, am I like dead now?" I gasped. "Annabelle, you were almost shot," said Sirius, "but the ballet could not kill you since you were from another time." It's true. That's how that works. If you're time traveling, the bullets can't kill you. "But fangs anyway," said Lucian, holding out his arm. I gasped. He had 2 arms! OMG, I can't believe Vampire's dad shot you, I gasped. Well, to be honest, Snap was possessed by Snap. Snap was possessed by Snap back then, said James. Aren't we all just possessed by ourselves in a lot of ways? Yeah, because he was a spy, Sirius said sadly. He was really a death dealer. And he was such a fucking poser too, said Lucian. He didn't even really know who GC were until I told him. Well, anyway, everyone started to give me presents. I was opening a black box with red 666s. There was a DVD of Corpse Bride in it. And when I gasped, Mr. Norris looked up angrily because he hated goths. Hey, has anyone fucking seen Draco? I asked, gothically. No, Draco told me he would be watching House of Wax, said Professor Travalry. He doesn't know that you're better. Anyway, the nurse said you could get up. Come on. I got up, suicidally. Lucian, Sirius, and Professor Sinister left. I was wearing a black leather nightgown. Under that, I had on a sexy black leather bra, trimmed with black lace, and a matching thong that said Gothic Girl on the butt. On the butt of your thong? On the butt of your thong? On the butt? The butt of your thong? The butt of your thong said Gothic Girl? The butt of your thong? Said Gothic Girl? Okay. And sexy fishnets that kind of hooked onto my thong. If you don't get the idea, message me, I'll tell you. I put on a black fishnet top under a black MCR t-shirt, a black leather mini with black lace and Congress shoes. I left the hospital's wings with Bloody Mary, Willow, and Vampire. OMFG, let's celebrate, gasped Willow. We can go see House of Wax with Draco, giggled Vampire. Let's go listen to GC and cut ourselves, said Hermione, who, we opened the common room door sexily, and then gasped. Draco was there, doing it, with Snap! He was wearing a black t-shirt with 666 on the front and baggy jeans. You fucking prep, we all yielded angrily. Yeah, you betrayed us, shooted Vampire angrily as he took out his black gun. Oh no, gun crimes. No, you don't understand, screamed Draco sadly as he took his thingy out of Snake's. No shit, you fucking suck, you preppy bastard, said Willow, trying to attack him. You rock, girl. I ran suicidally to my room. I sexily took a stakeout, S-T-E-A-K. Enemy, no, screamed Draco, but it was too late. I'd slit my wrist with it. Suddenly, everything went black again. Chapter 40. LOL, someone has taken my account over. Well, this was in the dock area. Might as well let the whole world see what the real Tara wanted to show us. Have a nice day. I woke up in the nurse's office on a special Gothic coffin. Harrogate was into bed opposite me in a coma because Vampire and Draco had bed him up. Mr. Norris was cleaning the room. Oh my Satan, what happened? I screamed. Suddenly Voldemort came. He looked less mean than usual. Get the fuck out, you fucking bastard, I yielded. Thou hast not killed Vampire yet, he said angrily. Suddenly he started to cry tears of blood, all selective. Voldemort, OMFG, what's wrong? I asked. Suddenly, Lucian, Professor Sinister, and Sirius came. Bloody Mary and Vampire were with them. Everyone was holding black boxes. Voldemort disappeared. OMFG, Enemy, you're alive, screamed Vampire. I hugged him and Bloody Mary. What the fuck happened? I asked him. Oh my Satan, am I like dead now? I gasped. Enemy, you were almost shot, said Sirius, but the ballet could not kill you since you were from another time. That's how it works. If you're from another time, the ballet cannot kill you. The things anyway, said Lucian, holding out his arm. I gasped. He had 2 arms. OMG, I can't believe Vampire's dad shot you, I guess. Well, to be honest, Snap was possessed by Snap back then, said James. Yeah, because he was a spy. Sirius said sadly he was really a death dealer. And he was such a fucking poser, too, said Lucian. He didn't even really know who GC were until I told him. Well, anyway, everyone started to give me presents. I opened a black box with red 666s. There was a DVD of Corpse Bride on it. When I gasped, Mr. North looked angrily because he hated goths. Hey, has anyone fucking seen Draco? I asked, gothically. No, Draco told me he would be watching House of Wax, said Professor Travalry. He doesn't know that you're better. Anyway, Denora said you could get up. Come on. I got up, suicidally. Lucian, Sirius, and Professor Sinister left. I was wearing a black leather nightgown. Under that, I had on a sexy black leather bra trimmed with black lace, with a matching thong that said Gothic Girl on the butt! And sexy fishnets that kind of hooked onto my thong. If you don't get the message, massage me, I'll tell you. I put on a black fishnet top under a black MCR t-shirt, a black leather mini with black lace and Congress shoes. I left the hospital's wings with Bloody Mary, Willow, and Vampire. OMFG, let's celebrate, guess Willow. We can go see House of Wax with Draco, giggled Vampire. Let's go listen to GC and cut ourselves, 666, said Hermione. We opened a common room door, sexily, and then, gasped. Draco was there, doing it with Snap! He was wearing a black t-shirt I'm 666 on the front and baggy jeans. Sorry guys, I am just reading it as it's written, and unfortunately they did just put the same chapter 2 times in a row. In case you were wondering. You fucking prep, we all yielded angrily. Yeah, you betrayed us, shooted Vampire angrily as he took out his black gun. Gun crime. No, you don't understand, screamed Draco sadly as he took his thingy out of Snake's. No shit, you fucking suck, you preppy bastard, said Willow, trying to attack him. You rock, girl. I ran suicidally to my room. I sexily took a stake out. Enemy, no, screamed Draco, but it was too late. I slit my wrist with it. Suddenly, everything went black again. Chapter 41. When I woke up, I was in a strange room. I looked around because I was wearing the same outfit I had on when I performed with X Black X Tier X. I looked around confusedly. It was the nurse's office, but it looked different. On the wall was a pic of Marilyn Manson. Just imagine that he's in an 80s gothic band too, okay? Because he's more old than Panic at the Disco or MCR. There was also a gothic black Beatles calendar with a picture of the Beatles wearing eyeliner and black clothes. On it said 1980. Radical. OMFG, I'm back in Tim again, I screamed loudly. Suddenly, Satan, this is actually Voldemort for photo reference. Voldemort was wearing a black leather Jackson, black tight jeans, and fishnet pants. He looked so sexy, I almost had an orgy. OMFG, Ennaby, are you okay? He asked, gothically. Yeah, I'm okay, for your information, I snapped, sexily. OMG, am I dead? Because I remembered I had jumped in front of the bullet from James's gun. I also remembered seeing Draco doing it with Snap. I guessed that when I had slit my wrist, I went back in time instead of dying. I knew I could go forward in time if I found a time turner or the time machine. No, you're not dead, Satan reassured suicidally as he smoked a cigarette sexily and smoke came all over his face. You're a vampire, so you can't die from a bullet. Come on now, let's go see how Harry Sad is doing. Fuck. Hold on, guys. It's possible I have to stop here. I think my voice has given up. Did you just hear it go? Jesus. Okay, I'm glad we read long enough to hear about the Beatles splitting up and not splitting up rather and going goth and being fine. We are going to put a bookmark in this book. I'm going to locate a bookmark. Here we are from one of our Choose Your Own Adventures. I'm going to put this right in here. And if we reached about almost the halfway point, and I know there's actually a lot of notes at the end, so we actually may have reached the halfway point on this, but if we are able to reach our September fund goal, Jesus, we'll read the next part of it. Oh my God. Yes, but it's no longer physically safe for me to continue reading, unfortunately. So we're going to stop here for the day. But reach our egg fund goal and we will read the second half of the book. Just you wait. It's going to be awesome, probably. At the very least, it will be full of a lot of adverbs and questionable content. This book is a health hazard. Thank you all so much for being here. This was a blast. I hope my voice recovers at some point. I may take tomorrow off of stream just to not talk for a minute, but I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. You're all great. This was a lot of book.
Thanks for your help.
Thank you for the bits, euphemism for wonder. And I'm gonna see you all. Let's go Monday. Let's say Monday is the next time I'm gonna see you all. I'm gonna take a nap now. Have a good rest of whatever Tim zone you're in, and be sure to avoid Snap and Lupin, those perverts. Okay. Back into my computer with you. Farewell, everybody. Bye. Shoot, I'm so sorry about the goose smooch. We'll do it right now. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. Let me grab him. I just got very distracted by everything. Fortunately, he's fast asleep on his tub, so he's easy to grab. Hee hee, I got my boy. Here he is. A smooch for Goose. You ready? I love you. He deserved it. He loves this. This is his favorite thing. Okay, baby, you went down? Okay. Bye. Okay, bye for real this time. I'm gonna go drink some throat coat. Farewell!